Okay, once again, thank you very much. We'll start in about 5 minutes. We'd like to recognize and welcome some of our guests. Mr. Adebiyi Adefarasin, State Director, National Orientation Agency. Adewumi Mayowa, Assistant Comptroller, Nigerian Immigration Service. Representing the Comptroller, Ekeng Ita Kubia, Osun State Coordinator of NYC. ACF Isaac Femi Akinjobi, State Controller, Federal Fire Service. We welcome you all. Thank you for being here in time. Professor Beimg Fasikul, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Obafemi Awolowo University. Iyaloja General of Osun State, Mrs. Oyebode, Mary Aderunke. NUJ Chairman, Osun State, Adeyemi Aboderin, and former Chairman of the State Council, Mr. Akisola and Mr. Olalere, you are all welcome. Executive Secretary, Osun State Agency for People with Disability, Rotarian Ayobami Oyetunde, thank you for being here. You are all welcome. We also welcome all our invitees from across all sectors of Osun State. As we go along, we'll get to know ourselves more. Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. You may not see me where I am speaking, but the moment you see me standing towards the front, nobody in front of me, either to the right or to the left, should stand up because we will be live. Only those behind me could stand up, and that is if it is very, very necessary. Again, our phones on silence or vibration mode, and as much as possible, avoid side talks once the show starts. Thank you very much. Our religious leaders in the house, Reverend John Adeleke, Khan Chairman, Osun State. Okay. Sheikh Musa Animashan, the Grand Chief Imam of Osun State. Ably represented here by Sheikh Abdul Salam Akinkumi, Special Assistant to the Grand Chief Imam of Osun State. You are welcome. Where's the prompt?
Hello? Hello?
Every day, Osun speaks in conversations, in questions, in concerns. But how often are those voices heard where it matters? This is your invitation to be in the room. Join the Osun Citizens Townhall Meeting. Ask your questions, share your views, hear directly. Because stronger communities are built when people show up. Don't leave your voice outside. Join the conversation. Osun is listening. Hosted by the Civil Society Network on Electoral Integrity.
Ojoojúmọ́ ni gbogbo ọmọ bíbí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun sọ̀rọ̀ sókè nínú ìtakùrọ̀sọ lásìkò ìbéèrè àti nínú ìmọ̀lára. Ṣùgbọ́n o, báwo ni wọn yóò ṣe gbọ́ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí níbi tí ó ti ṣe kókó? Ìpele yìí fún yín láti wà nínú yàrá tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà yóò ti máa jáde wá. Ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ àpérò àwọn ọmọ bíbí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí a pè ní Osun Citizens Townhall Meeting. Ẹ wá béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè yín, ẹ fi èròǹgbà ọkàn yín hàn kí ẹ̀yin náà sì gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n sọ. Àjọ Civil Society Network on Electoral Integrity ló ṣe agbátẹrù ẹ̀.
Ẹ káàbọ̀, ẹ kú ìrọ̀lẹ́. My name is Lanre Arogundade, and my co-anchor is Dupe Akinyemi. You will be hearing from her shortly. Today marks the continuation of a journey in the service of democracy by the Civil Society Network on Electoral Integrity. That network comprises the Nigerian Women Trust Fund, Elect Her, TAF Africa, Kuka Center, International Press Center, Center for Media and Society, and Yaga Africa. That journey commenced in Abuja on March 1st, 2026, with the network's convening of a citizens' town hall that enabled stakeholders to examine the implications of the Electoral Act 2026. The odyssey continued on May 24, when the network held the Ekiti Decides Town Hall. The outcome of that Ekiti meeting contributed to the improvements in the state's June 20 governorship election, the first that was governed by the new Electoral Act. That is where we're coming from. Our next destination, your guess, is as good as mine. It is the Osun State governorship election of August 15, 2026, the second gubernatorial election that would be governed by the new Electoral Act. That destination of August 15 explains the purpose of this gathering: to seek a peaceful, inclusive, transparent, and therefore credible poll. We therefore say thank you to all participating citizens and friends of Osun State, here in the audience, listening to us on the radio, watching us on television, and following us on the social media. Now, let us keep to the tradition of previous town halls by maintaining a culture of open, frank, but friendly conversation, by being polite, by respecting the views of the other person as you ask your questions and make your comments. In this state of the living spring, let us now spring into a lively dialogue. As we go along, you can follow us online using this hashtag Citizens Townhall, and we do have a WhatsApp SMS line through which you can send in your questions or pass your comments. That number is 070-777-21276. Let me take that again. 070-777, that is 777-21276. Dúpẹ́, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ bá wa kí àwọn èèyàn wa káàbọ̀.
Ó ṣé Lánre. Mo kí yín tẹ̀ṣọ́, mo kí yín tológun. Mo kí yín pé ẹ kú kalẹ̀, àkú àtàárọ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ síbi ìpàdé àpérò ìfikùnlukùn, ìfinúwénú lórí ọ̀nà tá a gbé gbà tí ètò ìdìbò yìí tí ó ń bọ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ní oṣù tó ń bọ̀ bí ó ṣe kẹsẹ̀ járí. Ká máa gbé òṣùbà ràbàǹdẹ̀ fún àwọn Civil Society Network on Election Integrity, àwọn àjọ tí wọ́n rí sí bí a ṣe lè ṣètò ìdìbò tí ó mọ̀yán lórí tí ó gún régé tí ó sì jẹ́ àtẹ́wọ́gbà. Ìrìn àjò yìí ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kẹta ọdún tí a wà yìí nílùú Àbújá, níbi tí àwọn lókọ àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìdìbò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ó kàn gbọ̀ngbọ̀n wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé. Ibẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ti fẹnu kò yí pé ètò ìdìbò yìí tí ó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì tó jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ọrú rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a ti gbé òfin ìdìbò ti ọdún 2026 jáde. Wọ́n ṣe irú ìpàdé báyìí níbi tí àwọn ọmọ Èkìtì tí wọ́n ti jókòó, tí wọ́n ti finú konú, tí wọ́n ti finú wénú, tí wọ́n ti fi ikùn lu ikùn, tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ohun tí wọ́n fẹ́ lórí ètò ìdìbò èyí tí ó wáyé ọjọ́ kẹrin.
Shall we? All right, welcome to the live coverage of Wave 91.7 FM. We are live at Adolak Oshobo, where the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity is organizing the program Osun decides the Citizens Townhall Meeting currently taking place, like I said, in Adolak. And some of the reasons why this is being held is that because of the election that will be taking place on the 15th. What they are trying to promote as we speak is a peaceful election and ensuring that citizens or residents of this state come out and cast their vote without any fear. So we've got stakeholders from different walks of life gather at Adolak here to share their mind, ask questions, and of course, diverse opinion from different angles as to in regards to the election. We'll connect to the program proper, and as it progresses, we'll bring you more information. We are live from Adolak as we speak.
Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ lónìí ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúàbí nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Mo kí yín ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wà ń kalẹ̀, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa orí adé mo kí yín, gbogbo ọ̀tọ̀kùlú lóko tẹ́ ẹ ti wà ń bí, gbogbo yín pátápátá lẹ ṣe pàtàkì. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń wò wá lójú móhùnmáwòrán, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń gbọ́ wa lórí rédíò, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń tẹ̀lé wa lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára, gbogbo yín pátápátá náà la kí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ìpàdé àpérò yìí. Ní ìtẹ̀síwájú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúàbí tó ń gbé ìpínlẹ̀ ọmọlúàbí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, níbi tí omi àlàáfíà tó ti ń sun káàkiri àgbáláyé, bí a ti máa fi èrò ọkàn wa hàn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí pé à ń láti bọ̀wọ̀ fún èrò ọmọ ẹnìkejì wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká lo èdè àlùfàǹsá, kò sí èébú ń bẹ̀, kò sí wàhálà ń bẹ̀. Àgbékalẹ̀ wa, ìbéèrè wa, nígbà tó bá kàn wá tá a fẹ́ ṣe ìbéèrè, ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀lé òfin àlàkalẹ̀ pátápátá. Tí ẹ bá sì fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, bóyá ẹ̀yin náà ní tí ẹ fẹ́ bá wa sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tí à ń sọ lọ́sàn-án yìí, orí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ ti lè fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ yín ránṣẹ́ ní WhatsApp, nọ́mbà tí ẹ lò náà ní 0-7-0 máa tún pè 0-7-0 2-1-2-2-6. Ẹ jẹ́ n tún pè lẹ́ẹ̀kan 0-7-0 2-1-2-2-6 àti 6. Ẹ sì tún lè kàn sí wa lórí #Citizen Townhall. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, mo rọ̀ yín kẹ́ ẹ farabalẹ̀. Ní tí bá ń bẹ lọ́kàn yín tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa ètò ìdìbò yìí tí ó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí, àwọn tí ó bá wa fi ìdáhùn sí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò ni o, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn INEC ni o, wọ́n wà ń kalẹ̀. Mo kí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Dúpẹ́ Akínyẹmí lóko tèmi. Ẹ ṣé. Láre.
Thank you very much, Dupe. Why this governorship election? Why off-cycle governorship election in Osun State? It's important for us at this point in time to trace the journey. If we recall, it started in 2007 when a governorship election was held in this state. That election was challenged and the result was contested in court over allegations of electoral malpractice. On 26 November 2010, the Court of Appeal nullified the election and declared Rauf Aregbesola the duly elected governor, meaning that the state moved from Ogagun to Ogbeni. A new 4-year tenure then began, and that new constitutional tenure commenced from the date of swearing in, which means that the cycle of election in the state has changed. And so Osun's governorship elections have followed a separate electoral timetable, resulting in off-cycle elections every 4 years. So here we are. What is at stake? Why do we have this gathering? We're saying here that it is not just about electing a governor. What is at stake is beyond that. We see this election as an opportunity for peaceful election in Nigeria, to promote peaceful political participation, and indeed build public confidence in our electoral process, because that confidence was affected in the aftermath of the 2023 general elections. We also want to ensure that every eligible voter is heard. And when we say that, we mean that every vote should count, irrespective of who casts the vote. Therefore, we also want to demonstrate that credible elections remain possible in Nigeria. So if all these things happen, then democracy in Nigeria can actually be strengthened. But what is the electoral map like in Osun State? This is what we see. This state of the Living Spring has a population of close to 6 million, 5.93 million to be exact. And that's why you have 9 federal constituencies, 26 state constituencies, 3 senatorial districts, and of course you know where we're going, 1 governorship constituency, meaning that only 1 governor will be elected on August 15, not 1.5, but 1. Who will elect that 1 governor? We're looking at voting taking place in 30 local government areas, 332 registration areas, the ones we call wards, as far as politicians are concerned, and 3,763 polling units. The total registered voters for this election in Osun State is 2,339,233. So that is the picture of those who will vote. But of course we know that to be registered is one thing, to collect PVC is another. And it is those who collect their PVCs that will vote. Who are we voting for? Let's look at the political candidates who have manifestos and have been campaigning. 21 political parties are registered, but 14 will be fielding candidates on August 15. And you must have met some of them. In other words, we have 14 governorship candidates contesting on August 15. Why does this election matter? There are other reasons why it matters. Because it can be a very significant election. First, as far as this state is concerned, it will shape political developments, because whoever is elected will come with his or her ideas. But more importantly, it will test reforms ahead of the 2027 general elections. If you recall what I said in the intro, we had a Citizens Townhall Meeting in Abuja to discuss the new Electoral Act. And this election is the second that will be governed by this Electoral Act. One of the reforms in that act is about the use of technology to transmit results. So Osun election will demonstrate, or is expected to demonstrate, the effectiveness of election technology. And obviously, if everything works well, it could influence public confidence in democratic institutions. Now let us look at this. We have done a pre-election assessment, and I'm talking of the Civil Society Network on Electoral Integrity. The pre-assessment shows a number of things. First is that this election will be highly competitive, and we have seen elements of deep polarization. The report also shows that the election could be influenced by rivalry between major political parties, and indeed be affected by disputes over local government administration. So this is the brief summary of what we see of the landscape. But having mentioned technology on the basis of the reform we want to see, it's important to let you know what would happen. INEC will deploy beavers for accreditation, and I'm sure very soon we'll hear from the resident electoral commissioner about preparations relating to this. INEC would also use IREV for results transmission. There will be electronic accreditation, and overall, we're looking at technology being used to improve the transparency and credibility of the election that would happen on August 15, 2026. So in terms of INEC's preparations, we're not speaking for INEC, but like I said, we've done some pre-assessments, and these are what we see. We see that there is a completion of the continuous voter registration exercise, expanded voter registration, upgrade of local government offices, preparations around logistics, the recruitment, and this is very important, of approximately 17,500 ad hoc staff. Then we're seeing elements of planning which involves the deployment of election technology. Our pre-assessment also looks at important segments of the Osun community, the women, the youth, and the persons with disability. And what we found, and what you also know, is that they constitute a significant proportion of the electorate. However, they are underrepresented because of structural and logistic barriers to their participation. Evidence of that, there is only one female governorship candidate contesting this particular election. But there is still a bigger picture, and we're interested in the young population. We've seen the trend where young people are the ones that register the most. So for us, we're looking at a trend where young ones are encouraged to collect their PVCs, vote peacefully, reject violence, because there is a tendency to use them for violence, verify information before sharing it, reject vote buying, or what people call vote trading, and encourage others to participate responsibly. That is for young people. How about our women? We see increased participation. But like I said before, there are barriers, and there's a need to promote equal opportunities. And as we move towards August 15, protect women from electoral violence or election violence. The media plays a major role. This town hall is being beamed live all over Nigeria and in this state. Therefore, it's important for citizens to understand how the media works in the age of fake news. Our appeal in this regard is that verify every information before you share, especially on those your social media platforms. Rely on credible sources. Be very cautious of fake news. Avoid spreading rumors that may cause disruption, and report any misinformation that you notice where possible. Having said all this, are there any risks to this election? Certainly. And we see elements of this through the assessment that we have done. We're concerned that there might be vote buying. We're concerned that there might be political violence. We're worried that disinformation may affect the election, and that is linked to fake news. We're also concerned about elements of hate speech, electoral intimidation, organized political violence, institutional conflicts, cultism, and even kidnapping. And it's good that the Commissioner of Police will be speaking to us later. There are security flashpoints, and later on we're going to be getting assurances that some of these flashpoints, things are being taken care of as we move towards these elections. We're voting for candidates. The candidates are representing political parties. And so it's important for us, and what we are saying in our assessment, is that the political parties should respect the Electoral Act 2026 governing this particular election. They should honor the peace accord, and that peace accord will soon be signed. They should reject vote trading, campaign responsibly, reject violence, and accept lawful dispute resolution mechanisms that are in place as far as elections are concerned. Overall, it is about we, the citizens, and every citizen in Osun State has a responsibility. What are those responsibilities? For us to vote peacefully and protect our vote. You vote peacefully and you protect your vote. To reject vote buying, verify information before sharing, report any electoral offense that you might notice, respect the election officials, because if you do not respect them, it could cause problem. Follow lawful procedures in anything that you do, but more importantly, and we keep harping on this, every citizen must help to maintain peace before, during, and after the election. So this is where we are, and once again, welcome. Dúpẹ́.
Ọ̀ṣẹ́, mo kí n pé ẹ kú kalẹ̀. Ìrìn àjò tó sún wa débi tá a wà lónìí, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ nípa ìdìbò tá a dì ní ọdún 2007 níbi tí ẹnìkan ti wọlé àwọn tí ò tẹ́ lọ́rùn ẹgbẹ́ alátakò wọ́n gba ilé ẹjọ́ lọ wọ́n ní ètò ìdìbò náà ó kún fún màgòmágó ilé ẹjọ́ dá wọn láre lọ́dún 2010 ní ìyípòpadà ìjọba ló wáyé nígbà tí ọmọọba Ọlágúnsóyèyìnlọ́lá tí wọ́n ní kó lọ rọ́kúnlé ọ̀gbẹ́ni Rauf Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá ọbọ̀sẹ̀rí àga àléfà ó tún kọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun fún ọdún 7 láti ìgbà yìí láti ọdún 2010 ní ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìdìbò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ló ti yàtọ̀ sí àsìkò tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe gbogbo ìdìbò kí wọ́n làwọn kókó tó súyọ nínú ètò ìdìbò ti tọdún yìí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun nínú àkọọ́lẹ̀ bá a ṣe pọ̀ tó tíntín ló kù ká pé mílíọ̀nù 6 nínú mílíọ̀nù 6 yìí àwọn mélòó ló forúkọ sílẹ̀ láti lè kópa nínú ètò ìdìbò èyí tó ń bọ̀ ní ọjọ́ 15 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún 2026 mílíọ̀nù 200 ó lé díẹ̀ làwọn tó forúkọ sílẹ̀ a sì mọ̀ pé ìjọba àbílẹ̀ 30 ní ètò ìdìbò yìí ó ti wáyé ní àwọn ojúkò tí wọ́n ti fi sílẹ̀ fún ètò ìdìbò yìí bó ṣe wá rí yìí kí làwọn kókó tó yẹ kó jẹ wá lọ́kàn à ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ràbò wọ́n tàbò wàhálà lè wà ó àní jáde àdínkù kò mọ́ ni bó o la ti fẹ́ padà lọ sọ fún àwọn èèyàn nílùú wípé kò sí ní tó jọ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ìdí nìyí tí a fi lórí ètò lónìí tí a fi gba ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lálejò wọ́n lè bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí pàtàkùntàkùn tí wọ́n ti kó lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni àjọ INEC ó wà ń kalẹ̀ láti fi dá wa lójú wọn ó jẹ́ ká mọ iye àwọn tí ó ti gba káàdì alálòpẹ́ wọn láti lè dìbò àti pé àwọn tí ò tí ì gbà bóyá àyè wà fún wọn láti lè lọ gbà kó tó di ọjọ́ ìdìbò kí làwọn kókó tá a fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ á ń láti mọ̀ yí pé ètò ìdìbò yìí ó jẹ́ èyí tí ó pè pé kí á fi àyè gba àlàáfíà onílé àlejò kí gbogbo aká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ kétò ìdìbò náà kó lè kẹsẹ̀ ká járí kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí wàhálà kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí pé à ń tàbò kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí pé à ń ràbò wọ́n wá dárúkọ pé nínú ìwádìí tí wọ́n ti ṣe àwọn ibì kan wà tí wọ́n fojú sùn pé ó ṣeé ṣe kí wàhálà ó wáyé ń bẹ̀ ìjọba àbílẹ̀ Borípẹ́ ìlú Òṣogbo tí a wà ìjọba àbílẹ̀ Òṣogbo àwọn apá ibìkan nílẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà Ìrẹ́wọlé Níkirè wọ́n dárúkọ àwọn ọbẹ̀ yẹn báwo la ṣe wá fẹ́ ṣe tí òfin ní sí wàhálà táwọn èèyàn ò fi lè jáde láti lọ dìbò ẹ mọ́ gbà pé olùdíje 14 ló ń díje èèyàn kan ni ó sì wọlé àmọ́ kinní kan wà ń bẹ̀ tó dàbí ẹni pé ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó kò fẹ́ẹ̀ sí ọ̀dọ́ nínú àwọn tó ń díje yìí yàtọ̀ sí pé kò sí ọ̀dọ́ nínú àwọn tí ó ń díje yìí obìnrin kan ṣoṣo ló gbégbá bíi gómìnà nínú ètò ìdìbò yìí tí ó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí ṣé kó máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin obìnrin tẹ́ wà ń bí ojúṣe yín ni láti padà sí gbòòrò láti sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ó di dandan fún wọn àwa obìnrin ká kópa tó jọjú nínú ètò ìdìbò èyí tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí mo gbà á pé ètò ìdìbò ọ̀hún yóò kẹsẹ̀ járí ẹni tí yóò sì wo àwọn ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni ó dórí àlééfà ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí gbòòrò ká lọ gbọ́n tí àwọn ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìdìbò èyí tó ń bọ̀ ní ọjọ́ 15 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún yìí ẹ kú kalẹ̀.
So we have been speaking with the people out there, and at this point in time, we want to hear what the ordinary people, the citizens, the eminent citizens, all of them are saying about this election, what they want to see, and the advice that they have for all the electoral stakeholders.
Jerry, bá a ṣe a rí pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti wà peaceful báyìí àwa fẹ́ kó wá jẹ́ pé ó wá di gbòòbò apá gbòòbò ọ̀bù lẹ́sẹ̀ a fẹ́ kí ìbò lọ ní ìrọwọ́rọsẹ̀.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí aráàlú kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kó lọ ní ìrọwọ́rọsẹ̀ kó má sí wàhálà kó má sí ìjà láàrin àwọn tó ń dìbò àti àwọn tó ń gbégbá ìbò.
Àfojúsùn wa náà tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ náà ni pé ìrọwọ́rọsẹ̀ ní ìbò Ọ̀ṣun máa wà o kò sí ìjà kò sí ìta.
A ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún credible elections election tí ò ní mú jàgídíjàgan dání election tí ó mú ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ wá a fẹ́ ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ ní state wa yìí rárá.
Àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa àti ẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gọ́vnà wa àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ president náà wọ́n sọ pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ skul gbogbo wọn pátápátá náà ni wọ́n máa wálé láti wá di ìbò kí gbogbo wọn jáde ká má jẹ́ ká fi ọjọ́ náà ká má jẹ́ ká fi gbá bọ́ọ̀lù ká má jẹ́ ká fi ọjọ́ náà ká má fi wo fíìmù kán jẹ́ ká bọ́ sí ìta ká túyáyá torí nǹkan tí ó wù wá táwọn náà fi rí tiwa ṣe tí ọ̀dọ́ náà fi rí iṣẹ́.
Governorship candidate wọn kò really sí ọ̀dọ́ púpọ̀ ńbẹ̀, so nǹkan tó kàn lè ṣe táwọn ọ̀dọ́ náà torí wọn á fi wú láti sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ dìbò ni pé kán ṣe nǹkan tí ó máa mú orí ọ̀dọ́ wú.
àwọn ọmọ sáà ti tó bòódì ká pe gbogbo wọn jáde kán dìbò fẹ́ni tó tọ́ tó yẹ. a expect kan fún wa ní security táwọn èèyàn fi lè jáde kán fi ráyè dìbò because nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí nísìnyí ó ti fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa sá sẹ́yìn. ṣé ẹ rí kò sóbìnrin kò síbò obìnrin wà ìgboyà pani àwọn obìnrin gan là ń dìbò jù. mo wá bẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn obìnrin mo rọ̀ wọ́n kí gbogbo wọn kàn jáde ká túyáyá.
lásìkò yìí màá rọ àwa ọ̀dọ́ ká jáde ní kẹ̀tíkẹ̀tí ká dìbò fún ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá wù wá tí a rò pé yóò ṣe ìjọba Ọ̀ṣun gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe fẹ́, so ká sì máa bára wa jà. ìbò tẹ́ fẹ́ tà ní 20,000 30,000 even 50,000 fódìdí ọdún mẹ́rin ẹ ti ta ẹ̀tọ́ yín, gbogbo nǹkan mèremère tó yẹ kó jàǹfààní fún ilẹ̀ ti tà for that 50,000 or so.
kí gbogbo èèyàn ká má ti torí owó ká má fi dìbò ká jẹ́ ká dìbò fún ẹni tó wù wá tọkàntọkàn tí a fẹ́ dì fún.
ìbò Ọ̀ṣun náà dẹ̀rẹ̀ lóòótọ́ bá a ṣe ń gbọ́ pé lónìí lọ́la gbogbo wàhálà lọ́tọ̀ ló sì ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n alihamudulila dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ti rọlẹ̀. ẹ̀tọ́ tèmi láti sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni wípé ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká má bẹ̀rù ká jáde láti lọ dìbò fún ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá wù wá.
ó ṣe pàtàkì gan-an ni torí tá a bá dìbò káyẹn tó wù wá a lè rí tẹ̀síwájú. a fẹ́ dìbò káyẹn tó wù wá ẹni tí ó ṣe wá lóore ẹ fi mọ tẹnumọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe wá lóore ká dìbò fún un ká má wo owó o tán bá fi ráìsì tàn wá gàrí tàn wá gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ atara wa ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ tán bá dìbò pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́nú náà dìtúwé ká dì sí mọ̀ pé a rí rere ń bẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ó dẹ̀ tùbà yóò túṣẹ́.
Oh, don't gawk yourself. Sell your vote, you don't sell your future, but that sell your birthright. How much self? Divide them by 4 years. How much with that? Don't sell your vote, oh. No matter.
ṣeun mo kí pé ẹ kú kalẹ̀ ẹ kú jókòó lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí àwọn bàbá wa àwọn lọ́balọ́ba tí wọ́n ti wà níbí pẹ̀lú wa àwọn ló kàn báyìí ó ti kan ààrẹ ó ti kan àgbààgbà nígbà tí màmá kí bàbá wa Kirele ti Kirele ọba Afeez Ọlátúnbọ̀sún Bámejì Azeez Ọlátúnbọ̀sún Bámejì ẹ bá mi ṣe kábíyèsí o ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa kejì tí ẹ mọ̀ gbóhùn wọn àwọn náà ni ọba Ìlúfẹ́milóyè Agúnsóyè Elégbòro ti Ìjẹ̀bú-Jẹ̀ṣà bàbá kábíyèsí o ẹ ṣeun a máa lọ tààrà sọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa Akire ti Ìkirèlé bàbá ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú fún gbogbo ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pàápàá jùlọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lórí ètò ìdìbò tí ó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí bí àlàáfíà ó ṣe jọba ṣáájú ọjọ́ ìdìbò lọ́jọ́ ìdìbò àti lẹ́yìn ìdìbò tí ò ní sí wàhálà tí ò ní sí gbódòǹroṣọ. Ó dọwọ́ yín bàbá.
Highest regards to all Royal Majesties here present, distinguished organizers, esteemed stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. I commend the civil society network on electoral integrity for this timely and laudable initiative, which seeks to promote or deepen citizens' participation and promote inclusive electoral process in Osun State. Ask an average Nigerian to define democracy, and the response will be swift and familiar. Politics is a dirty game. But is politics inherently dirty? The answer is no. Politics is indeed a noble instrument for governance, representation, and societal development. However, it only appears dirty because its players have contaminated the political space with violence, intolerance, intimidation, thuggery, unhealthy competition, and unethical conduct.
Thank you.
As a royal father and a custodian of the values and aspirations of our people, I wish to emphasize that the forthcoming governorship election presents another opportunity for Osun State to demonstrate political maturity and democratic excellence. I therefore appeal to our political gladiators, political actors across the 30 local governments, including Ife-Modekeke area office, to embrace peace, fairness, tolerance, and respect the rule of law before, during, and after the election. No political ambition is worth the loss of a single life. Elections will come and go. The consequences of violence can remain for generations. The forthcoming Osun State off-cycle governorship election must be approached as a contest of ideas and service, not of violence, intimidation, or division. Let us place the peace, unity, and progress of Osun State above partisan interests and ensure that the outcome of the election strengthens our democracy and preserves our cherished communal harmony. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.
Mo kí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n kó ètò yìí jọ láti lè bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò ìbò tó ń bọ̀ ní orúkọ kábíyèsí ọ̀nìrìṣà tó jẹ́ ọba aládéládé nílẹ̀ yìí Ọ̀ṣun State ilẹ̀ Yorùbá but Ọ̀ṣun State la kí yín pé ẹ kú ìjókòó. Ṣé rí ètò ìbò tó ń bọ̀, àdúrà wa àti èròǹgbà gbogbo àwa lọ́balọ́ba ni wípé a ò fẹ́ ìtàjẹ̀ sílẹ̀, a fẹ́ fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọmọ ẹnikẹ́ni kí wọ́n fi ṣe àtẹ̀gùn lórí àlééfà. A gbé oríṣiríṣi ìgbésẹ̀ ní ààfin oníkálukú. Nígbà tí mo wo àwòrán bẹ̀yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan, Ìjẹ̀ṣà jẹ́ ìkan nínú ibi tí wọ́n sọ pé ó máa gbóná jajaja, àbí kìí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe kọ́ síbẹ̀ nìyẹn. Inú owó pa ń bẹ̀ ẹ́ kọ́ síbẹ̀, kí ló dé ilẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà? But ìgbésẹ̀ táwa ń gbé gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tó ní kí n sọ ni pé kí ni àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí a ń gbé. Ẹni bá wo àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tá a ń gbé láti ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá wa Ọwá, ẹni mọ̀ pé láìpẹ́ yìí ẹ kó àwa ọba jọ a lọ sí ààfin. A gbé àwọn òṣèlú, a kó wọn jọ, a gbé wọn ṣépè wípé ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá jẹ́ kí wọ́n ta ẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ní agbègbè wa báyìí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn a tún kó wọn jọ pé à ń bẹ ẹ̀yin ará ìlú, tá a bá ní wọn ní ta ìbò àbí ra ìbò, irọ́ ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n á ta ìbò, wọ́n á ra ìbò. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tá à ń sọ fáwọn ìlú ni pé ẹ gba owó yín ni, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ di ìbò ní tọkàntọkàn, nǹkan tọkàn yín tó fẹ́ òní kẹ́ṣe. Abẹ́ rò pé mọ̀ níta ìbò, ẹ má tanra yín, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ òótọ́ ibi tá a wà yìí. Vote buying ó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ mọ̀, ọjọ́ ìbò tí ì dé, oríṣiríṣi la ti ń rí. Ṣùgbọ́n a gbọ́dọ̀ bá àwọn ará ìlú sọ̀rọ̀, owó yín ni ẹ gbà, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ di ìbò fún ẹni tọkàn yín fẹ́. A tún sọ fún wọn, eléyìí tó ń sọ pé tán bá dìbò tán, ẹ dìbò, ẹ lọ lé yín ló yẹ kó jẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá ní kan dìbò, kan dúró síbẹ̀, ibi tí violence, ibi tí ìjà ti ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú òfin ó dà ní pé ó sọ pé tẹ́ bá ti dìbò tán kẹ́ dúró. Tí ẹni tó dìbò ní bóyá ìbò kan láago 8, ẹni kó dúró di aago 3, ibi adé o, ara máa kán o. Tó bá di pé wọ́n fẹ́ ka ìbò ẹ̀, ìjà fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ o. Tó inú àwọn electoral act yẹn ó yẹ káwọn òfin kan tún wà. Tó bá lè dìbò kó lọ ilé ẹ kó máa fi àdúrà ràn lọ́wọ́ pé ìbò mi o, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kan ká o. No, àwọn tá a bá ń sọ òótọ́, then àwọn àgbààgbà náà ta ń wò pé àgbà tí ò mọ ibi tó fẹ́ tẹ ìka sí, ẹni tẹ́ni kó lọ bá tẹ́. Àwọn ibì kan wà níbi tó ní kọ́lọ́fín, torí ẹni tó máa tẹ́ ó lè lọ fi ọwọ́ ẹ̀ síbi tí bàbá àbí ìyá yẹn ò fẹ́, àbí afọ́jú àbí arọ. So gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń fa kíní a ti ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀, a dẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà lágbára Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n ní fọmọ yín ṣe o, wọ́n ní fàyà yín ṣe o. Ìbò yá dẹ̀ lọ ní ìwọ́rọ́wẹsẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á gbàdúrà wa o, kí Olúwa kí ó pẹ̀lú wa o. Thank you.
Transition. Thank you very much to our royal fathers for those words of wisdom. And very soon we're going to come to our panel, the first panel of this particular town hall. And I'd like to just quickly introduce those who will feature in this panel. To my extreme right, we have Mr. Sunday Smith, representing the community of persons with disability. It's well seated here. Mr. Smith, you are quite welcome to this program. Then we have another speaker, and that is the Deputy Commandant of the Corps, Afuye Kikelomo, Commandant, who will be speaking, and is actually she is representing Commandant Shotiyo Igbalawole Emmanuel. So that's what we have from the security sector. Then, of course, the big person, the resident electoral commissioner for Osun State, Mrs. Olutoyin Babalola. That is what we have here as the setting of this panel. And I'm going to start, obviously, with the resident electoral commissioner as we take off this panel. Well, I'm not sure if the resident electoral commissioner is is a football lover or a football fan, but there's a footballer, agbábọ́ọ̀lù kan wà tá a máa ń pè ní Mario Balotelli. Now, he normally wears a jersey, but under that jersey, he normally wears a singlet. Anytime he scores a goal and is celebrating, he will remove the jersey and display the singlet. You know what is written on that singlet? Why me? You were resident electoral commissioner in Osun State, where an off-cycle governorship election was held. And now you were transferred to Osun State, and you are set for another off-cycle governorship election. Like Mario Balotelli, why always you? Just, yeah.
Thank you very much.
I hope you got my question.
I got your question. You said, why me? But in this instance, I will not be saying, why me?
Why always you?
I will say, why always me? I will say, when duty calls, you answer. When duty calls,
you answer.
You answer.
Okay, thank you very much. So when duty calls, you answer.
You answer.
Which means you have answer to our questions. We've done pre-assessment election reports. Yes. We've looked at the environment. Can we know from you, in the first 3 minutes, what is the state of your preparedness for this election of August 15, 2026?
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll start with the timetable and schedule of activities for the election. If you look at the timetable, we have 13 activities. And out of all those activities, we have just 2 ongoing. One is not an INEC activity, which is campaign. But the second one, what we have left now, is the conduct of election. And talking about the preparation for election, you all know that a major thing we need is a valid register. The Commission has conducted the continuous voter registration exercise, and we are in the process of distributing the cards in all the local governments. Between the first 3-4 days, we have distributed 37.9% of our cards. All our non-sensitive materials have been received. They are in all local governments. They are batched into registration areas and polling units. We are expecting our sensitive materials, which we know we always distribute on the week of election. Our portal for recruitment opened, and it closed last week on 18th. And we have sufficient number of ad hoc staff that have applied. Very soon we'll be training them. And the focus of that recruitment is competence, integrity, neutrality, and professionalism. All the persons that applied ought to be qualified before they can apply. So the portal will do a short list and will soon invite them for training. Also, in the area of voter education, we have deployed multiple channels for reaching the public, because if people are not enlightened, they will not understand when, where, and how to vote on election day. We have engaged particularly with women, with persons with disabilities, with student union leaders. We have engaged also with grassroots, community leaders, faith-based organizations. And the focus of all these engagements is to encourage citizens, educate them on the need for them to exercise their franchise. Your vote is your right, and that they should not sell their votes for election reason. When you sell your votes, you cannot hold your leaders accountable. When you sell your votes, you mortgage your future for the next 4 years. And we have also talked to traditional leaders, religious leaders, because they know how to touch the conscience of their community members and their followers, for them to shun violence and not allow anybody, like our royal father said, he said, "Agbe won shekpe, pẹ́ni tó bá ta ẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ní community wọn báyìí ló máa ṣe. And I think they are taking the step in the right direction, because election is not war, and it should not be. And no election is worth the life of anyone. In the area of security, we on our own identified flashpoints through our electoral officers on the field. They identified areas of challenge in their local governments. Some of them are thuggery, normal violence, communal clash, cultism, and the rest. And we have shared this with security agencies as part of intelligence to help them plan for adequate response. INEC works in collaboration for securing. We understand the importance of conducting election in a secure and peaceful environment. And it is on this basis that INEC collaborates with security agencies. We have been having several meetings with security agencies in the state, and they have given us assurance that the election will be secured, it will be peaceful, and people should not be afraid to come out to vote on election day. We understand that quite a number of things have been happening in the state, and from what we have been seeing, there has been a reduction in the spate of violence. But we are still hoping, and we believe that the assurance they have given us will work. Very soon, we are having our last residence assessment. We are going to have mock accreditation on 1st of August in 4 local governments in every senatorial district in Osun State. And this is part of our plan to ensure that election is transparent and that we are very ready. He's trying to stop me, so I'll stop now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Although I've not stopped you, but I have follow-up question. We have the PRO of the State Police Command who has joined us, standing for the Commissioner of Police, DCP Ojelabi, right? DSP, you are very much welcome as you join us on this panel. Let me explain that we're not going to do all the talking from here. Very soon, we're going to come to you to ask your questions, to make your comments. We've had the Royal Fathers and many more. They've joined us. We'll mention their names later. So it's a citizens town hall. And that's why I'm not going to ask them too many questions. As a matter of fact, we have 2 segments of this panel. The first, we're looking at election preparation. And we're going to be talking just to the INEC and the civil society representative. When we're done with that, we will then go on break and come back and discuss the security aspect. So it's going to be a day where we have the opportunity to ask questions. If you look to the middle of the hall, there's a microphone stand. When it comes to question and comments time, whoever wants to speak will just require you to stand up quietly and line up and ask your questions and comments very, very briefly. Of course, those following us online would also be part of this through the telephone line that we mentioned earlier on, and we're still going to repeat that. More importantly, we have a QR code that we're going to show you that you will scan, because as we go along, we want to know your thoughts about this program, how it's shaping your view in terms of the preparation, in terms of security, in terms of all aspects of this election. So I'd like to ask the resident electoral commissioner one more question before I take 1 or 2 from here, and then we go to the audience. Part of election preparation has to do with logistics. And when it comes to transportation, this logistics is usually provided by the transport unions. And I expect that by now, you probably have started making that arrangement. However, we also know from reports that there seems to be some crisis within the transport unions in the state. So how are you, negotiating this complex web? What assurance are you giving us as regards the logistics preparation of this election in relation to the transporters?
Thank you very much. transportation is a critical aspect of election logistics because no matter how well planned an election, no matter how well planned an election is, when transportation fails, the election has failed. What is the purpose of transport? What is the importance? It is these transporters, we use transport to move men and materials to the local government, to the registration areas, and to the polling unit. And INEC had signed an MOU with the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NATO, and Marine Workers Union. In Osun State, we have NATO and we have the Nigerian National Union of Road Transport Workers, which we engage for the movement of our men and materials. We started engaging with them. Immediately I assumed office. We have had several engagements with them, and we have told them the importance of promptness, neutrality, and professionalism. The need for them to give us vehicles that are in good condition. After our first engagement, they saw the need to train their members, and they fixed a date in June and trained all their members. We were invited to as facilitators at that engagement. And they have also promised us beyond that, because I told them about situation room, and in Ondo State, they set up a situation room for us where we can make complaints and they can follow up. Regarding the issues that is happening within the party, I have not been informed or any faction introduced to me. We have been working with a specific body. And the beauty is, when we conducted the election last in Ondo State, I had the opportunity of working with the national body. They sent a representative, and they have replicated the same thing in Osun State. So there is a representative of the national body that we are speaking with. We are not speaking with any faction. And they have given us the assurance that we are not going to have any problem with respect to deployment. Whatever problem they have internally is their problem. But as regards engagement with INEC for the movement of men and materials, we are not envisaging any problem, because we are dealing with the national body that they have deployed the director organization to Osun State to work with us. We have been working with them. We have, even this week, this last week, we had 3 meetings with them. I do not envisage any fear with regards to provision of adequate vehicles that we need for the election. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So you are saying that you have told the transporters the vehicles must be in good condition. I don't know whether you are going to test those vehicles. Are you going to use VIO to test them to be sure that the vehicles are in order? Okay.
We have part of the MOU signed with INEC is that the vehicles they want to use will be inspected. And we have scheduled Tuesday and Wednesday before the election in all local governments for the inspection of vehicles, so that if your vehicle has any problem, you'll be able to fix it before Friday, because their engagement is going to commence on Friday. And the commandant of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Osun State, we have been working together. He has given us all assurance, and he has communicated with all his office, his staff in all the local governments in Osun State.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me come to you, Mr. Smith, and after Mr. Smith, we're coming to the audience, both here and online. You've heard the Electoral Commissioner talk about the preparations. Your community is very important, community of persons with a disability. From what you've seen so far, from what you heard her say, what would you tell us about the preparation when it comes to that important constituency? Or maybe other constituencies of other represented groups. You can just do that in about 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to appreciate the convener of this program for giving us the opportunity to share our thoughts and our pleasure this far. And we know that the Electoral Commissioner for INEC has been inclusive enough in their preparation. And I want to say that amongst all the meetings, she has been, the engagement so far, we have been involved, myself and the chairman of the disability community, all what he has said is true. And I want to say that we don't need to compete with her. We only need to consolidate their effort to making sure that we all arrive at a common front. And I want to say that on the issue of the distribution of sensitive materials, please, I want to appeal that the distribution of sensitive material, such as accessible material and assistive device for persons with disability, is also sensitive to us. It may not be sensitive to others, but to my community, those materials are sensitive. And I want to say that in 2022, you've done well, and I want to also urge you to make sure that this assistive material is evenly distributed according to the data you have. By South Africa, the data are there all over YAG Africa. They've consolidated our effort in driving, disability advocacy, which is data-driven. And I want to say that we are expecting INEC to make sure that persons with disability will not only participate in the process, but will be given opportunity to vote independently, safely, and voting with dignity. I want to say that
updates as to what is happening there. But once again, let me remind you, it's the Osun State Citizens Townhall being organized by the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity. We've heard from different royal fathers who are here as we speak. We're listening rather to the INEC chairman, Osun State, and that's the rec in Osun. We'll go back to the program proper as it's when we get back to speed, like I said earlier. But for now, once again, a quick reminder that is the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity, or should decide, Citizens Town Hall. We'll go back to the program. We'll be back. So many have asked why this event have been put together. It's ahead of the election that will be taking place on the 15th of August. And now we have representatives of different walks of life. The Commissioner of Police is supposed to be able, he has a representative. I'm sure questions will be thrown to him as to what the police will be doing or what they're doing to ensure a free and fair election. You recall that in days or weeks have gone past, we've had different violence from here and there. And these are some of the questions that will be pushed forward to the Commissioner of Police. We have representative from the DSS. Questions will also be pushed to them. The INEC chairman, like I said, or the rec in Osun State is here. Royal fathers, they will also play a huge role ahead of the election, during the election, and after the election. We heard from different royal fathers, like I said earlier, and they also gave their thoughts about what is happening. We'll take you back to speed. It's still the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity, or Osun Decides, Citizens Town Hall. We'll move back to the program. We're back.
I listed a number of risks that we see to this election. Maybe our network will upgrade our risk and include power failure as a risk or threat to the election, given what we have just seen. But we're still very much here, and we thank you for following us. Those of you here in the audience, we appreciate your patience. Those following online via hashtag Citizens Town Hall, and a phone number through which you are going to send your WhatsApp messages. And very soon, we really want to hear from the audience. We want you to ask, your own, questions, not my own questions. She's already said, why always are duty calls? She's ready. What do you see about our preparation? What other things have you observed? So, Mr. Smith, I want you to conclude in 30 seconds because we just have to.
I think when there is injury in football, there is always a time frame for that. Yes. So I want to say that my submission, my submission is this: that if I want to take this as a take home for INEC, that you should help us to retrain the ad hoc staff in order to take data analytics, because when OPDs brings out their funding and help us in terms of advocacy, and they fail to get the data that will reciprocate that kind of efficiency that was supposed to be driven by persons with disability in terms of number, that it equally states the level of participation of persons with disability. So the form H4 40H should be rightly introduced to the ad hoc staff by telling them the page. Because sometimes when we observe, we tell them, this is a particular page. They will say it's not there. Please, I want you to make sure that you tell them the particular page, and so that they will know how to tick it, so that we get a result that will be fruitful and purposeful. Thank you very much, INEC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith, for using your injury time quite judiciously. So we'll come to the audience now. But before then, we mentioned earlier, Honorable Electoral Commissioner, we talked about the number of registered voters, 2.3 million, about that. But then, how about PVC's collection? Do you want to say something quickly about that? We have an idea where we are now.
Before the conduct of the CVR, Osun State had 1,954,800 registered voters. After the CVR, we have 2,339,233 registered voters. We are currently distributing 512,622 permanent voter cards across the 30 LGAs. Within the first 4 days, we have distributed 192,702 permanent voter cards, which represents 37.5% of the cards that we are meant to distribute. We are optimistic, we are hopeful, because the turnout is quite impressive. We should be able to distribute almost all the cards. We are currently distributing at the registration area level, which we will do up till 28th of July. From 29th of July, the cards will be taken back to the local government offices, and our doors are open until 7th of August for distribution of the cards. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're looking forward to knowing the total number of PVCs collected so that we can have an idea of a likely turnout for the election. Now, over to our audience. A lè béèrè béèrè wa ní Yorùbá, a lè sọ̀rọ̀ ní Yorùbá, a lè sọ òyìnbó. Tó bá dẹ̀ wù wá bó jẹ́ pé pidgin English ló tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. Èdèkéde tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fi sọ̀rọ̀, àsìkò tó láti béèrè béèrè lọ́wọ́ Honorable Resident Commissioner wa àti àwọn tí ó wà níbí. Although we're still going to discuss security later, we're focusing election preparation. So if you want to ask questions or speak, please go to the middle. There's a microphone. You're going to see a gentleman already standing there. Please line up behind him. Tell us your name, if possible, who you are, that is what you do, and then make your question or comment very brief. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó pọ̀ jù. Ṣókí lọ́bẹ̀ oge. Let's make it as brief as possible. I'm already seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Very, very, very good. This indeed is a Citizens Town Hall. So let's have the first person. As you ask your questions, we'll be taking notes here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Taufik Aris. Honorable Commissioner, INEC Rec, I do give kudos to INEC because they've been inclusive when it comes to persons with disability. Thank you very much, and I'm expecting you are going to do better. My question is, what is INEC preparation? Making sure magnifying glasses, brain box guide, EC40H form, voting priority, and language sign interpreter will be on ground at this forthcoming gubernatorial election for persons with disability. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for a question. That was quite brave. Please, others should emulate him.
My name is Akinshola Akim Adekunle. Concerning the EC40H, I want to advise the INEC that they should make sure that this form is available in all the polling units. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Next person, please.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn orí adé tí wọ́n wà níbí. Kábíyèsí o. Orúkọ mi ni Comrade Adéyẹmí Mutairu Alápá, tí mo jẹ́ persons with disability. Mo dẹ̀ kí ọ̀gá INEC tí wọ́n wà níbí. Ìbéèrè tí mo ní tí mo fẹ́ bi wọ́n, òun náà ni àwọn aides wa, like me, visually impaired ni mí. Àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn olóṣèlú míì, wọ́n lè máa takò wá, ò ní tẹ̀lé lọ, ọmọ tí mo mú wá láti ilé, wọ́n lè máa pé bóyá wọ́n mọ̀ pé bóyá ibì kan ni mo fì sí àbí ẹgbẹ́ kan ni wọ́n wò pé mo lè ṣe. Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn presiding officer yín láti ràn wá lọ́wọ́?
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Next person.
Tadese Ismail Alanu. Èmi ni alága physical Osun State. Question ti mi ni ma ìyá wa. Ibi kan bẹ ní wò títí ti jẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ń dìbò ń wò. Wọ́n wá sí kọ́tà. Àwọn èèyàn mi sì rèé ń lo wheelchair. Ọ̀nà wo lágbègbà? Báwo láti ṣe? Lóde ọba tẹ́mi gan ti ń dìbò gangan. Ọlọ́run kádàrá kí wọ́n kọ́ kí bàbá mi Olúwo kọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan síbẹ̀. Ibẹ̀ ṣe ẹ̀rọ̀rùn díẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀rùn fún àwọn kan báyìí nísìnyí. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí títí jẹ́lé wọn tí wọ́n wá ṣe kọ́tà àti kọjá, ẹ dákun sà, ẹ dákun mà, wọ́n lè ṣàánú wa o, ire o.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Please, if somebody before you has asked your question, you may not want to repeat that, but I've heard ẹnikẹ́ni lọ́wọ́. Ó kàn yín náà, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Adedeji Sunday, the PRO for the Nigerian Association of the Blind Osun State chapter. I want to ask that how well has the INEC and our election umpire has prepared for the blind, the ballot paper, braille ballot guide to be distributed across the polling unit where blind voters are registered. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am Adetoye Shitu Alamu. I am a broadcaster, journalist, and author. I like the way the host, Lanre, the analogy he drew, that you are the Mario Balotelli of our time, football-wise. Because the man was a good player and you were a good administrator. But the issue I want to ask you is not a pre-election question. It is during the election proper. Madam, I know it from my own immediate constituency journalism that every electoral pundit believes that this election is going to be a very, very tight one too close to call. I don't know if such reports have reached your office. And if they have, my question will be, is your commission prepared for, what do they call it, this election that doesn't, are you preparing for rerun? There is a very stronger, inconclusive, that's the word I'm looking for, inconclusive election, in which case there will be a rerun. That's my question. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Next person.
My name is Adeshola Odunlade. I work for Crown 101.5 FM, Ile-Ife. Less than 20 minutes ago, there was a release by the Osun State PPRO, DSP Abiodun Ojelabi, where he wrote that officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Osun State, who were peacefully distributing permanent voter cards at Oyinlola DC Primary School, Ward 2, Odot, in local government area, were attacked by about 10 armed thugs. The hoodlums reportedly fired sporadically into the air and carted away 3 packs of permanent voter cards, which indicates that as we speak, there are 3 packs of your permanent voter cards wherever it is. Is this election not already being compromised? Thank you.
I need the phone numbers again. Me tini ke pàtẹ́wọ́ fẹ́ anybody.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Bolarinwa Olabode, the National Coordinator of Young Men Network Against Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. I want to ask the Resident Electoral Commissioner, this is a question for post-election, because it is very, very important. We want to have the, immediately after the election, we want to know, because when you look at the disaggregation of the number of people who registered, it is about 70% are youth between the age of 18 to about 49. So the question is, after the election, how are we going to be sure so that we can track the total number of people, especially the youths, who eventually voted? Because we want to know so that consistently we can be able to know the level of participation of youths in election process. Thank you. We don't just want to say, assume. We want to know whether it has increased, decreased, or it has remained the same. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Alfred Adegoke. I'm a legal practitioner and gubernatorial candidate of the Socialist Party of Nigeria in 2018. I want to, mine is a comment to condemn the registration of the Socialist Party of Nigeria by the conglomeration of the political parties that gang up at the National Assembly to register SPN. We demand that the Socialist Party of Nigeria be brought back to the table so that we can contest election, SPN. That's our first comment. Secondly, I also want to condemn the lackadaisical approach of government to this election. How can you be having election that you don't have CCTV camera in the place you're having election? So any law can just come and carry your paper away and beat you up. Meanwhile, if you have a CCTV camera there, there'll be no problem. But we allow ourselves, we allow security. I think maybe the practitioners themselves just want a situation whereby they can use criminals and crisis to control the thing. Otherwise, I don't see reason why we wouldn't have CCTV camera in every place where we are voting. Now, finally, my question is to the Commissioner of Police, represented by PRO. Why did civil society express their disentitlement and condemnation of the Commissioner of Police in Osun State as a biased umpire, and is not a fit and proper person to preside over the security? Why? Why did civil society do that?
Thank you very much. Thank you. The state PRO will respond when we go to the other segment of the panel. Well, we have people standing, and I'm thinking that maybe we pause a bit We have already asked so many questions, and okay, I have 2 women on the line. I'm very, very gender sensitive. So I take the young lady, and then we take the woman, and maybe we'll pause so that we don't lose track. I know, but we really want everybody to speak. So go ahead, please, and try to make it very, very brief.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanusi Rofiat Sidowu, Vice Chairman, AAN Osun State. My question is this. Ma, I first of all salute the INEC.
Your question.
Okay. My question is this, ma. You said all the PUs are accessible for PWDs. But if the PU is accessible, but where they are putting their cubicles is not accessible. In the last election, for PWD, they said that the PUs, all the polling unit is accessible. But where they are putting their cubicles, they are putting the desk, the PU and APU are standing, is on the pavement, where PWDs cannot have access to that place. What are we going to do, ma? Secondly, ma.
Can we make it just one question
okay,
now?
sorry, just another one. We are saying we are inconclusive for PWDs. What are for the deaf peoples? For the last election, there is no any sign language where I was observed. And we have deaf people that are voted there. What are we going to do for them?
Thank you very much, Mama.
Orúkọ mi ni Adaradon Comfort. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mà nípa PCF tí a register fún. Wọ́n ní àwọn tó wà ní Ọ̀ṣun Jẹ́là, Owódé Iléṣà Road, Iléṣà Garage. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kò rọrùn fún wa láti wá sọ́nà garage, láti wá sọ́nà ọjà ọba. Wọ́n lọ́nà ọjà ọba ni a ti lọ gbà. Àwọn tó lọ látàárọ̀ dalẹ́ ni wọ́n tò síbẹ̀. Wọn ẹlòmíì ò ní rí gbà yóò tún wálé. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kò rọrùn fún wa, ẹ bá wa arrange ẹ̀ fún wa láti rọrùn láti gbà. Ẹ ṣé mà.
Okay, all right. Okay, 1 minute. So the thing is, the commissioner will respond to some of the questions now and then come back later. So let's just take everybody standing.
Good afternoon, the organizer. Today is exactly 20 days to the election. 20 in Yoruba means Ogun. Alale àwọn tó tẹ̀lé Ọ̀ṣun. We will be witnessing it like this. Neri Ogun nínú election tó ń bọ̀ yìí. My question goes to our REC and the PPRO, who is representing the Commissioner of Police. It boils on the issue of PVC connection. We are still receiving a number of calls that there are a number of old loans that are going to these various places of collection of PVC, collecting it in bulk and take it away. My question to the REC, PVC that doesn't belong to a particular electorate, is there anything they can still use it for? And to the Commissioner of Police, have you made any arrests ever since the beginning of the collection of PVC so far? Because we have been receiving a number of calls from day to day. Good afternoon. My name is Akekome Halabi.
Thank you very much. You are clapping without my permission again. All right. Continue.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Adeyemi Abodan is my name. I'm the chairman NUJ Osun. Well, I want to commend the preparations of INEC for the August 15 governorship election.
Make it louder, sir.
I want to commend the effort of INEC for the August 15th governorship election. But if you look at the trend in Nigeria, the problem with elections in Nigeria is not about preparations, it's about the conduct of that election. What are the arrangements in place by INEC to ensure that the election day as planned is done according to specification? Talking about Vivas and other technology input into this election, how are we not going to experience failure? How are we not going to experience swapping of results? How are we not going to experience failure of IREF and other technology? 1, 2, I want to plead to INEC and the security personnel here seated. My members will be fully involved in the conduct of this election. Journalists from across Nigeria and beyond will be here for the election. I want assurances from INEC on the measure put in place to ensure safety of journalists who will be involved in the line of duty. And the police. The security of journalists is very dear to me as their chairman in Osun State. Please, I need assurances. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You need assurances. So we have just 3 to go. Thank you.
Florence Babashola lórúkọ mi láti ìwé ìròyìn Aláròyé. Ìbéèrè mi sí ọ̀dọ̀ alákòóso àjọ INEC ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ohun kan ṣoṣo tó ń dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ náà ni káàdì ìdìbò alálòpẹ́ yìí. Ojoojúmọ́ la dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń kó ní kẹ̀tíkẹ̀tí láwọn ibùdó tí ẹ kó wọn sí. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ìyànnà náà fún wa àti fún àwọn ará ilé tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa. Ṣé káàdì tí mo lọ fi orúkọ ara mi gbà ǹjẹ́ ẹlòmíì lè lò lọ́jọ́ ìdìbò?
Thank you.
I appreciate the organizer of this program. My name is Theophilus Ayodeji, State Coordinator of CLMI. My question goes thus. Maybe let me put it in Yoruba. Àwọn ènìyàn, I go around a lot, particularly in the buses. Some people are complaining that they were not able to get their PVC. Why? Wọ́n ní táwọn bá dìbò mìíràn, center bò mìíràn, òṣìṣẹ́ káwọn ẹ̀bẹ́ nìkan. Ẹni tó máa sì kejì rẹ̀ ní corpers. Àwọn á sì wà ń bẹ̀ títí tí ńgbà tán bá ṣe débì kan wá ló ti sú àwọn káwọn máa lọ. Please, the INEC chairman in Osun State, kí ni ohun tẹ́ ilé ṣe tí eléyìí ò fi ní wáyé mọ́? Bóyá ṣe é ṣe báyà kan pín sí gbogbo àwọn local government or whatsoever. I cannot teach you what to know, but I believe you know the best thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. You cannot teach her, but you promoted her as chairman of INEC.
Good evening. My name is Ishola Omatola Elizabeth, the National Treasurer, Administration Association of Nigeria, as well as Jonapid Women Coordinator, Osun State Chapter. Mine is just a comment and a bit of contribution. One of our mothers said something here. Yes, sir. That they have challenges in collecting their own PVC. I think INEC has done a good thing, but in order to achieve their goals, they need to bring this thing more closer to the people at the grassroots by bringing it down to the polling units. They are at the world level now, but in order for them to be able to distribute all these voters' cards, they should bring it down to the polling unit so that everybody will access it easily. Secondly, it's a question on VIN number. Can you just tell us the significance of VIN number? Because we heard that some people are collating the VIN numbers of people in the without the election has not even come, but they have been collecting the VIN numbers of people. What has that VIN number got to do on the election day? Thank you.
And last but not the least.
Mo kí gbogbo wa Gbénga Ọláṣẹ́yìndé ní orúkọ mi láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò ìjọba àpapọ̀ Gold FM Iléṣà. Ìbéèrè tí èmi fẹ́ béèrè ni pé tí a bá ń gbọ́ awuyewuye lọ́tún tàbí lósì, ó ṣeéṣe kí irọ́ tàbí kó jẹ́ irọ́ tàbí òótọ́ tàbí kí ó jẹ́ àpapọ̀ méjèèjì mix. Now, a gbọ́ wípé bóyá ní ìròyìn afẹ́fẹ́ a gbọ́ wípé lára àwọn beavers tí a fẹ́ lò lọ́jọ́ yẹn pé wọ́n ti lóòdẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn votes kan. Bó ní ṣé ìyẹn ṣe é ṣe tàbí ọgbọ́n wo ni àjọ INEC ń dá lórí ìyẹn tí ò fi ní jẹ́ pé ìgbà tán bá gbé machine débi tán ti fẹ́ dìbò wọ́n á sọ wípé wọ́n ti dìbò sínú tàbí bákan. Ẹ ṣé.
Okay, thank you very, very, very much. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ fi àfikún sáwọn béèrè yẹn ní kábíyèsí àbí ẹ fẹ́ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́? Okay, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá ṣe ní ìṣẹ́jú méjì torí.
Hello, ẹ ṣé. Lórí collection of voters card ni inú palace mi ni collection center wà. And we have 23 polling units in Ward 8, Ward 3, Ijebu-Jesha. Now, we still have thousands of people. As rightly said, we have only 2 coppers giving this voters card out. And I learned this thing will close on Tuesday. What are we going to do? Because these people, is a must. They must get the voters card. Kindly assist. Thank you.
Thank you, Kabesi, for that information and for that question. So we are back to you, Resident Electoral Commissioner. Duty calls.
Thank you very much. I'll start with the disability community questions. The first person asked about ballots, braille ballots, magnifying glass. Everything is centered around making election accessible to persons with disabilities. In Osun State, we have been working with persons with disabilities. We have engaged with different cluster heads. On accessibility, I think about 2 weeks ago, we gave out braille visual impairment. You have a right to come to the polling unit with a person of your choice to guide you. It is your right. No one has a right. Another person asked question about, yes, we have access to collect the ballot, but where we will cast our vote in secret is not convenient. All these have a lot to do with the discretion of the officials in the polling unit. I had a lengthy discussion with a person with disability recently. He was in my office and he complained so much. Oh, many classrooms where they put the voting point, the tables are on very raised foundations. And I asked him one question. Have you been voting? He said, yes. I said, how many times have you encountered this? He said, just once. I said, that one time, what actually happened? He said, the presiding officer bent down. You know, when you have foundation that is high like this, that he bent down to give him his card. And they made it comfortable and convenient for him. I said, so where is this question really coming from? And if you count the number of polling units, most of our schools are on low foundation. Secondly, he said, how do we protect, somebody talked about Iwo, wọ́n ní títí ti jẹ ọ̀nà tó dé ibẹ̀. Títí ti bá jẹ́, ṣe mọ̀ pé INEC kọ́ ló máa ṣe ọ̀nà. Ṣùgbọ́n títí ti bá jẹ ọ̀nà débì, tàrí pé àwọn èèyàn lè sọdá, a lè sún sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ díẹ̀. Bọ́ a ní ẹ̀tọ́ lábẹ́ òfin ní Ọ̀ṣun State ń bí láti gbé ibi tó yẹ kán ti dìbò kúrò níbi tán ti sọ pé ibi báyìí ló yẹ kó jẹ́. Ohun tí mo máa advice yín ni pé tẹ́ bá ń bọ̀ ẹ lè mú yàn dání tó máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́ láti lè dé ibi tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ dìbò. Somebody asked, are we prepared for inconclusive election? I will start by saying, inconclusive election does not mean failure. Most of the time, it is voters that make election inconclusive. INEC is not planning for inconclusive election. We are not planning to fail. And if there is inconclusive election, the law has adequately provided for the next step to be taken. In Ward 2 Odoti, today, we received information that hoodlums went to the center where we are distributing and took some cards away. As I speak with you, I'm waiting for the report, so I cannot say this is the figure that was taken away. have made adequate report to the relevant department, and we want to check to ascertain the particular cards that were taken. They did not take all the cards in that polling unit. And for the speaker, to the person that asked the question, to have said that because cards were taken in Odoti, it means the election is going to be compromised. This is a very wrong allegation that is not founded. You cannot base what happened in Odoti today to judge INEC or to judge the process that is going to be compromised. We have promised the people of Osun State that we are going to conduct an election that is free, fair, credible, inclusive, and transparent. We are not planning to compromise this election. How will you track voting? Okay, let me just go to the next question. He said somebody condemned the registration of Socialist Party of Nigeria. Socialist Party of Nigeria was not registered yesterday. It's been deregistered for a while, and the Commission has the power under the law to deregister political parties, and the conditions that for the registration is clearly stated in the Constitution. And because Socialist Party of Nigeria fell within this category, that is why it was deregistered. He said, how can we conduct election? We must have CCTV in all polling units. Maybe we'll get there one day. But as of today, elections will be conducted without CCTV. You talk about the deaf. They can also bring people to the polling units to help them to read or to ask questions or to interpret for them. For now, where we provide interpreters is at a collation center. Yes, somebody asked this question. Collection of cards by proxy. We have trained all our distribution officers. I've heard about 2 reports that somebody collected by proxy. And we immediately investigated and discovered that it was just false alarm. Our staff are not giving cards by proxy. And it's just misinformation. And somebody also asked about VIN number. I answered this question at an event. Whoever collects VIN number is just chasing goods in a black market. That's what I call it. INEC has released the register of voters to every political party participating in the election. And there's VIN number inside. So I do not know why somebody will go and buy what you already have. It is useless. It's of no moment. Because the VIN number is not what you need to vote on election day. What you need to vote is yourself, your permanent voter card, the beavers will recognize your facials, and your biometrics. And thank to God. I thank God because no 2 people have the same facials, even twins, and the biometrics can never be the same.
Okay.
They want us to bring distribution closer. For now, INEC has brought it to the closest point, which is the registration area. And most of the time, the registration area is always within small communities. So we will continue this registration until 27th, and I urge every eligible voter to collect their permanent voter's card within this period. Maybe at during other exercise, it may be taken closer. But for now, it's going to be at the registration area level and also at the local government level.
Thank you. Are you okay for now? No, just a minute. We have a question from our online audience because people are sending questions via WhatsApp. I just want you to take that, and immediately you do, we'll go on break, and then we come back, have the security part of it. It's still part of all elections, and even if we have others, we can still ask. The resident commissioner is not leaving now. She will still be very much with us. So there's this question, what specific safeguards has INEC put in place to ensure these technologies, and I'm sure Beavers will be one of them, function effectively across all polling units in Osun on election day?
All right, I'll take that question along with the other question on Beavers. Somebody made an allegation that Beavers are already loaded with votes.
Preloaded.
Preloaded with votes. Votes, you see, all these are misinformation. Votes are not on the Beavers. You vote with your permanent, with ballots, and you put it in the ballot box. Votes are counted. Votes are not on the Beavers. So there's nothing like preloading a Beavers with votes. The Beavers is to authenticate and accredit, and also to upload the results from that polling unit to the IRF portal. On the issue of ensuring that the Beavers function adequately, as I speak with you, we have charged our Beavers, we have tested them, we have configured them, we have done everything that should be done. But the Commission also knows that there can be little issues, and that's why we are engaging registration area technical support staff. There is going to be one in every registration area to attend to any issue that may come up with the Beavers. Also, there will also be a technical support staff at the local government level as well. So anything that comes up with the functioning of Beavers will be attended to. Then beyond the polling unit itself, how is INEC working with other institutions to discourage and respond to these growing threats? Many citizens...
That's threats of vote buying.
The threat of vote buying. I will start by stating, INEC does not sell votes, and INEC does not buy votes. The voters know themselves.
What do you do
the sellers know themselves. We have been advocates, we have been engaging, and we have a lot of jingles, a lot of programs that we have been having, telling citizens that it is not worth selling your votes. When you sell your votes, you sell your future. And in our relationship with ICSES, EFCC, ICPC, they are already on ground to check and arrest vote buyers. So we advise those selling their votes, when you refuse to sell your vote, the buyer has nothing to sell. I think the problem is mainly with the sellers, not even the buyers. When there is no good to buy, then your money that you want to use in buying is useless.
Thank you very much. At this point, we're going to go on a very short break. And when we're back, we're going to look at the security dimension of this discussion. This is still the Osun Decides Citizens Townhall on the governorship election coming up on August 15, as organized by the Election Integrity Network, comprising a number of civil society organizations. And that is why we're here. We are glad that those online are following us. We're receiving questions from you. This is for all citizens. Even if you are using our WhatsApp line, you can send your questions in any language that is convenient for you, particularly the Yoruba language. The resident commissioner is not leaving, like I said. And when we are back, we'll take more questions, and there will still be an opportunity for her to respond to some of our questions. One of the traditional rulers we're expecting has since joined us, the Orogun of Okela, His Royal Majesty Abolarin is very much, seated. Because he's a royal father, I will not sanction you for that, clap. Thank you very much. So right now, we just go on a very short break, and we'll soon be back.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) will on Saturday 15th August 2026 conduct governorship election in Osun State. On election day, eligible voters with disabilities will receive priority access to vote as all polling units will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. INEC will provide assistive voting materials such as EC30E, PWD posters to explain voting procedure, Braille ballot guide to enhance voting for the visually impaired voters, and magnifying glasses for persons with albinism.
We are still live at a live broadcast of Wave 91.7 FM and WSTV here in Osogbo. You've been listening to the voices of different stakeholders who are gathered here at the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity. Osun Decides Citizens Townhall. Like I said earlier, people from different walks of life are here asking different questions from key stakeholders. We've heard from the INEC chairman, more like the REC in Osun State, the Commissioner of Police, who is represented here, the DSS also represented here, special people with special needs also being represented here. Questions have been thrown as to the readiness of INEC. I think like the bulk of the questions have been on the INEC chairman here in Osun State as to the readiness, and they're talking about the PVC which is being collected across the state as we speak. So there's still more questions to come. We've not heard from the police, we've not heard from the DSS, who will also be playing a huge role in this one. Once again, it's the town hall meeting, the citizens town hall meeting here Osun Decide, the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity, currently taking place in Adulak or Osun State here in Osogbo. My name is Tim Joseph. After we'll go back to the program. When we come back, there'll be more questions that will be heard or asked rather by many residents and stakeholders gathered here that will be thrown to the special dignitaries on the high table, which includes the Commissioner of Police of Osun State, who is being represented, the DSS, who is also being represented here, the INEC chairman here in person. She has answered a lot of questions, and there is still more because I've seen people taking a queue to ask her so many questions. We'll still be here for the next 1 hour 30 to 40 minutes where different questions will be held. And according to the organizers, is to ensure that we witness a peaceful, credible, and safe election in that one come on the 15th of August. My name is Joseph Attel once again. We need to return back to the program. We'll be back.
One vote. All voters must come with their PVC to the voting center. Remember, no disability should limit your ability to shape the future of Osun with your vote. Vote wisely. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission with support from the European Union. INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy. As the Osun governorship election approaches, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is calling on women of Osun State to arise and take part in building a future that guarantees the prosperity and well-being of their homes. On Saturday, 15th August 2026, Osun women are encouraged to come out and vote for the governorship candidate of their choice. On election day, all polling units will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and all women who are registered and have their permanent voter cards (PVC) have a duty to vote, as the bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS will be used for accreditation to ensure one woman, one vote. Let's join hands together to strengthen our democracy. Your vote secures your future. Don't sell it. With our votes, we can achieve the Osun of our dream. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission with support from the European Union. INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) will on Saturday, 15th August 2026 conduct governorship election in Osun State. On election day, eligible voters with disabilities will receive priority access to vote, as all polling units will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. INEC will provide assistive voting materials such as EC30E, PWD posters to explain voting procedure, Braille ballot guide to enhance voting for the visually impaired voters, and magnifying glasses for persons with albinism. Priority will be given to elderly voters and persons with disability to vote first. The Bimodal Voter Accreditation System BVAS will be used for the accreditation to ensure one man, one vote. All voters must come with their PVC to the voting center. Remember, no disability should limit your ability to shape the future of Osun with your vote. Vote wisely. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission with support from the European Union. INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy.
I want to gawk yourself. Sell your vote, you don't sell your future, but sell your birthright. How much self? Divide them by 4 years. How much with that? No sell your vote, oh. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter the thing they do you. No matter how much money them they give you. No sell your photo. No need to fight, oh. Because your pinky no go join you. And go they won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, no sell your photo. Yeah. Okay. If you look at the situation, everything harsh for this our nation. Poverty rising and inflation. Line still day for the fuel station. Things gotta change, my determination. This election, no intimidation. Protect your selection, we gotta make sure everybody votes count for the future. For the future.
Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let them take your vote from you. Now your future be that too. Yeah. Now your future be that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Together we can make.
Do with your phone is to scan this and help us answer some of those questions. The questions that have been asked is shaping your view in terms of the elections. It's very, very important for us to attend to this. So it's also displayed on my left, Osun Townhall. That's the QR code for you to scan. And at this point in time, you can continue to do that. And for those following us online, we're still very much there at hashtag Citizens Townhall. All these are very, very important as we go along. We're still having questions coming from online, and as they come, we're going to be taking them. At this point, we want to move to the security aspect, where security is part of election preparation. And we're glad that we have been joined by the representative of the State Commissioner of Police. Indeed, earlier on, at least 2 of those questions have gone to the police, and I believe he was taking notes. Once again, I'd like to welcome DSP Afolabi Ojelabi, who is very much seated there, to be complimented by the sister from the Civil Defense Corps that I introduced earlier on in the course of this program. We've also been joined by a second civil society representative, this time a lady, a young woman, Suleas Ganiyu Abolaji. She's already seated. You are very much welcome. So to you, dear DSP, we've talked about our pre-election assessments. Some flashpoints had been identified, and you've had some questions relating to security. Part of what we said is that this election looks deeply polarized. Some people have talked about the hijack of PVCs where people are collecting it. So 2 things. What exactly is the level of police preparation for this election? And are you going to discharge your duties impartially? Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, my name is DSP Abiodun Ojalabi.
Abiodun, rather.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Representing the Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Gultan, MNIPS, the Commissioner of Police, Osun State Command. First of all, I want to apologize for coming a bit late. I have to attend to some certain situation in the office as regarding Udoti and Ife. That is why I came late. When you talk about preparedness, thank God Osun State is going to be doing a by-election. It is a privilege for us as security agents that is going to be a by-election for the gubernatorial, giving us the ample opportunity and time to draw personnel from around the 36 states, giving us the ample time for other ISS to also draw personnel from other parts of the state. In view of that, and in view of the strategies put in place, I can assure you, on behalf of ISS, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, we are ready.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's your question, sir.
You are ready?
Yes, sir.
In what ways are you ready? How
Okay.
ready are you?
Thank you.
You said you were at Ife. What happened at Ife? And we mentioned some areas where people talk about election security threats. Borikwe, parts of Ijesha land, and others, which you are aware of because we have done some pre-election assessment. So the question really is, what specific measures are you taking about this?
Okay, thank you. Part of the measures we've taken is about last 2 weeks, the Inspector General of Police has deemed it fit to deploy additional personnel to Osun State. That is pre-deployment. That is pre-deployment to Osun State. And he has also directed the DPUs and area commanders. They should meet with relevant stakeholders at the grassroots, with the royal fathers, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders at the grassroots. At the command level, we are also doing the same to make sure that we have a peaceful election. The flashpoint that we identified, it has grade. It has the high risk, the medium risk, and the low risk flashpoint that have been identified. That is as at 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And we've done our own assess, and other civil society organizations have also done theirs, and they can confirm to me that those with high risk assessment have been reduced to medium risk or low risk in some areas. Those areas with low risk medium risk assessment have been brought down to low risk. And some areas with low risk, we've been able to reduce it to a low risk level. Nevertheless, there are new developments coming up every day, which is giving us concern. And we are doing all efforts. Even today, we have to do additional, we have to change our modus operandi today due to what happened in Ife and Udoti. We've changed our modus operandi today. The Commissioner of Police have met with the management team, and a new strategy will be put in place to see that we forestall all these happenings.
Has there been any arrest? This Udoti, where some people just went to collect people and disrupted the process?
Yeah, the incident that happened at Udoti, Ward 2, if I'm not mistaken, no arrest has been made. But we are working together with the eyewitnesses and the INEC officials to see that we trace those people. You know, police, I know questions will still come up on this, so let me quickly answer it in advance. Police and other security agencies were deployed there. That of the police I can speak for. They were deployed there, and you know, in that scenario, we are not permitted to go with arms. So we are as I said, we are looking at, we are coming up with a new modus operandi to see that we forestall this happening. We are, probably the Commissioner of Police will still be meeting with the REC to see how we can work hand in hand to see that this thing never happen again. It is difficult to move collection of PVC centers, but we will work our way around it.
So no arrest yet?
No arrest yet.
Will there be arrest?
Well, with proper information and synergy.
From eyewitnesses?
With proper information from
no,
eyewitnesses.
From eyewitnesses. But the eyewitnesses may be afraid that if they come and say they saw this, police can just grab them and...
Well,
Are they safe?
Gone are those days.
Are they
gone
safe
are
to give
those days.
information?
The world we are in now, and whatever you do, everybody is seeing it. It's a global world now.
Okay. So whoever gives you information will be protected?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me come to their young lady.
Vote for. They cannot have access to your ballot. They cannot enforce any rules on you on what you will do. Then there are cases whereby when they get to the polling units, we see maybe some political parties, agents that will come around to actually patronize us. You know, they always see us as the weaker vessel, and there are some means with which they weaponize the society, and women are actually targets. Some of it are vote buying and the likes. So we tell them to not sell their votes and stay away from any potential buyer, because when you are caught, vote buying is actually an offense. And when you
Commandant of Corps, this civil society, civil defense corps, Afuye Kikelomo, DSP Ojalabi said no arrest has been made yet. Maybe you are the ones who will do the arrest. I don't know. So from your own point of view, where are we in terms of preparation? What guarantee do we have that there will be security? And if you will do the arrest of those people in Odoti, you can also tell us so that you can help the police. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. As per the incident that happened,
okay,
we complement the police. They are the key leading role when it comes to election. So we complement them. Their men will be drawn from neighboring states.
Don't use the mic, just face the other.
Okay, our men will be drawn from the neighboring states during the election, so that to see that the election is peaceful, free, fair, and credible. But as for the incident that happened, like he said, investigation is ongoing. And if anybody is found or certain groups are found culpable, the needful will be done. So nobody will escape the full wrath of the law. They will definitely face the full wrath of the law. But as he has just said, investigation is ongoing. And from eyewitness, people, the community, we are begging to that the community should not keep silent. When you see something, you say something. If you know them, please speak. Your information is safe. And you yourself, giving the information, you are safe. We give you that assurance. And as for the election that is going to take place, our core mandate is to protect lives and property, safeguard critical national assets and infrastructure. So our men will be drawn from all the southwest, all the opportunity to destroy our critical national assets, just to disrupt the election. So men will be drawn from all
officers and men. Amen. All right. So that men is for men and women, isn't it? Okay. Thank you very much. We're going to come to the audience again. We want you to be part of this. You may have questions for the Commissioner of Police, represented by the PRO of the state. But once again, let me remind you that we have the QR code. It's very, very important for our purpose, because we want to know how this town hall is impacting your understanding of the electoral processes, perhaps the confidence that you have, and the assurances that things may work very well. So please scan it and help us fill that information. It's very, very important. Just before I come to the audience, and the protocol remains the same, We have the standing microphone there. Please go there. If you want to ask questions, line up and try and make it as brief as possible. But just before we do that, I still have this question for our DSP, Ojelabi. The chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists in the States asked a question about journalists who will be covering this election. They will come from this state, they will come from outside the state, and they may even come from outside the country. But not only journalists, we also have the observers, the election observers, who will be in their thousands and who will be all over. What assurance can we get from you? Because we're looking at protection now at 3 levels: of the voters, that is the citizens, of the journalists, and then the observers, who will come from different civil society organizations. Maybe you can tell us that in 2 minutes, and then we'll come to the audience as usual to have your input, because this is a Citizens Town Hall. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. When I was speaking the other time, I made use of the word by-election. It is off-cycle election, for correction. It is an off-cycle. As to journalists and others, observers and others that will be on duty on that day, one thing is, once you have been accredited, you have your tags, you have the right to request for security coverage. Even without you requesting, we will provide for you if you are moving in group. Once you have your tag and you are accredited, be it journalists, be it observers, be it civil society organizations, once you are able to have this requirement, it is our duty to provide security for you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I mentioned the QR code. We have hard copies that are being distributed, or maybe have already been distributed. So you can also fill that if you don't have the means or perhaps the knowledge to fill it. So I want wait one quick one pé keba fọwọ́ sí ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe ìtẹ́ bá lè ṣe ti QR code yẹn tẹ́ lè scan ẹ̀ ẹ lè bá fill form tí àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n pín fún yín àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín púpọ̀. Now we're back to the audience. I don't know whether you still have some questions for the Commissioner of Police. I can see people marching forward militantly, maybe because they want to ask the Commissioner of Police questions. Oh, okay, good. We have another long line. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. It is a Citizens Town Hall. But I want to plead, make it brief, go straight to your question, or go straight to your comments. Let me say this before you start. Even though we're directed at the Commissioner of Police now, don't forget we still have the resident electoral commissioner here. So if you feel there's an unanswered question, you are free to take it. She will still respond before we draw the curtain on this very, very important town hall. Okay, your name and who you are, and then your question and your comment, as briefly as possible. Thank you.
My name is Stephen Oluwafemi Idowu, the Jonapi chairman of Osun State. My question is this, concerning the security. We want our security officer to give us the update and the preparation for how to protect persons with disability, most especially on that election day. Then what is their duty is for those people who are, the polling unit is so far to their house and they need a mobile, something like vehicle or motorcycle to reach the polling unit. Is it their security guaranteed? That is my question.
Okay, thank you very much. Security.
My name is Olasuko Abdelhamid Opeyemi, the General Secretary, Nigeria Association for the Blind. My question is, during the election, most of our security, tí àwọn èèyàn bá move láti ibìkan sí ibìkan with bike, so wọ́n máa disturb wọn, tí wọ́n sì fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ dìbò níjọ́ náà, tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa sọ fún ọ̀gá yìí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tí pé kò necessary tó báwọn, so báwo ni ó tún ṣe ní wáyé ní ẹlẹ́sìn eléyìí.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Thank you very much. My name is Michael Olushesi Ebofi. I work with Moalex Center for Sustainable Community Development. I'm also participating in the voter education exercise going on in Osun by INEC. But one thing I want to throw to, we have discussed some things earlier at one of the forums, but another one that happens recently now is about these politicians carrying out weapons when they are having campaigns or moving rallies or whatever. I was at a community today. The community members were telling us that there were sporadic shooting when a particular politician came to campaign in their community, and they were picking pallets of bullets on the floor. Why should that be? If we say we want a non-violent election, why should politicians still be carrying out weapons and thugs around, and no arrest has been made? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alfred Adegoke once again, as Socialist Party of Nigeria candidate for governor in 2018. My question again is for the police. There is violence erupted in Osun State, and civil society groups demanded for the removal of the commissioner of police. My question is why did the commissioner of police not resign his post? That is one. Two, why do you know whether he's being investigated? Whether the commissioner of police will be investigated by a police service commission over the crisis in Osun State, where he has been fingered as being a partisan personality?
Once again, I just want to talk in addendum with earlier what I have been talking to, part of it earlier. What happened is that for the inclusion of persons with disability, I want to add it to consolidate INEC that TAF Africa has deemed it fit to consolidate INEC in terms of the accessibility for persons with disability, especially the hearing impaired. So they have deployed 25 sign language interpreters across the polling units in Osun State so as to consolidate and to make communication accessible for the hearing impaired persons. Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. Our sister there.
My name is Dr. Adiola Oyeleke, the commissioner, ma. My question is that the information that was given to us here that was not debunked from Adokuku, what happened at Adokuku? What is the fate of those people that were cut, were taken away? Are they not going to participate in this election? So that is my question, because we just have 20 days left. Is there anything the commission can do to ensure that these people perform their civic rights? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next.
I am Comrade Sadiq Adewale. My question goes directly to the police PPRO, representing the Commissioner of Police. Just about 3 days ago, it's all over that Inspector General of Police has mandated and given the police, giving a direct order that they can shoot aside to anybody that is carrying firearms. But surprisingly today, in the submission of the PPRO, that has to do with the violent at Odoti and Ife, when you are going to meet an hoodlums, definitely they come with arms. And you're not telling us that you are going there to go and meet them without carrying arms. This is a thing of concern. It doesn't show that the police are actually ready. They're not fully ready. That's my submission. Thank you. That's the input question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Good evening, sirs, and everybody on the panel. I'm Adesunlo Beimg. Two quick comments, question. I want to look at synergy, the electoral day procedure. At what position should the security agents stay while providing security on election day? That needs to be clarified, because compromise as regards security of ballots has been, we've had cases of fingering security agencies as people who now show the politicians, oh, this person has trumpeted to the right or the left. Issues are now vote buying. So at what position should they stay while carrying out their duty that the citizens' secrecy of ballot is still protected? One. Number two, in 2022, I remember Yaga Africa could not verify the election because of the rerun. We know what happened around Ife, where people were prevented. Even security agents did not allow observers to observe the election. So what assurances are they giving us that in a situation where maybe a rerun may happen, that what happened that time, where hoodlums were not concentrated in an area, observers were prevented from coming in, things now happen, and that election was concluded, that such history will not repeat itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, let's make it very, very brief.
That they say, Ismail Loko Melekasi. Mokinyo. Say, I'm going to go Lakanda.
And you know.
Say, I'm going to Lakanda. I'll get down.
Benny.
To go and logo. I can't let you know.
I'm going that.
Allah PPRO ndo joko yi àti ọ̀gá civil defense ilé bá ti rí àkàndá tó bá Nairobi kan ẹgbẹ́ kan mọ́ kó lọ ẹlọ́dá lóhùn mo gbọ́rò nǹkan ní ìsìn láìpẹ́ pé àwọn kan fẹ́ gba voters card àkàndá wá ń tò pé ọ̀tọ̀ ni o civil defense sì ń bẹ ń bẹ ọlọ́pàá sì ń bẹ ń bẹ ma ẹ bá ní wọ́ọ̀mù wọn ẹ bá ní gbọ́n kan náà ìyá máa ti rí àkàndá ẹ fà kàn ní fún làkàbíyèsè gidi gan ire o.
Duty calls, only can one dada.
Good evening, all. I'm Dari Adeoye, and I'm directing my observation and question to the Commissioner of Police. We've been preparing for election in Osun State for quite a while. And if I can look back, most of the engagements that we have around the election in Osun State, the past commissioners of police were always on seat to come and tell us what they have in mind, not sending a representative to come and stand in for them. If I can go down memory lane, the CP before the last gubernatorial election in Osun State was very, very receptive to everyone. And we're looking at it from the angle of the current Commissioner of Police. Programs like this that I've attended in the past couple of days, around 2 or 3 of them, he was not around. How can we be using taxpayers' money to fund that office and the Commissioner of Police is not receptive enough for us to come and attend to our needs? Even some groups that wanted to pay visit to him in his office, we were not giving audience. He cannot continue to be the Commissioner of Police in the state and will not be able to just have access to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next person, we have just about
Thank you very much. Bolarin Olabode is my name again. Of course, he has asked one of the very important questions I want to ask. Okay, the second one is the one I asked the other time that the INEC has not been able to answer. Data disaggregation of youths who votes in the forthcoming election is needed to be seen. If we have shifted forward, backward, or we are still at the same spot. Thank you.
Thank you for making it brief. Next, our sister.
Thank you. Ìbéèrè mi àkọ́kọ́ ó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ aṣojú Commissioner ọlọ́pàá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Wípé thank you. Ifeoluwa Adébáyọ̀ lórúkọ mi láti iléeṣẹ́ Diamond FM Iléṣà. Ìbéèrè mi àkọ́kọ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ aṣojú Commissioner ọlọ́pàá. Lórí àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ àkàndá, a gbàdúrà pé kí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìdìbò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun kó bọ́ sí iṣu àtayànyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá tiẹ̀ wá lọ rí bẹ́ẹ̀, ǹjẹ́ ó tiẹ̀ ní ètò kan tí iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ṣe fún àwọn tí ó jẹ́ àkàndá tọ́rọ̀ bá di ìbò lọ ìyà fún mi? Kí ni ètò tẹ́ ti ṣe sílẹ̀ fún àwọn àkàndá, àwọn arúgbó àti àwọn oníròyìn? Ìbéèrè àkọ́kọ́. Ìbéèrè kejì ó lọ sọ́dọ̀ rec wa. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ káàdì ìdìbò alálòpẹ́, ẹ sọ wípé ẹ ti pín ìdá 37.5% nínú káàdì ìdìbò láàrin ọjọ́ 4. Kí ni àwọn ètò tẹ́ ti ṣe àti ìgbésẹ̀ tẹ́ ń gbé láti jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn káàdì ìdìbò alálòpẹ́ yìí kó di pínpín kó tó di ọjọ́ keje oṣù kẹjọ kó mọ̀ di pé ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wò ní káàdì ìdìbò alálòpẹ́. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Onitiju Arayemi. I'm from representing the Hope for the Future Disability. I'll be directing my question to the REC chairman. There is a sensitization going on in the grassroots on PVC collection. And I'm part of the team. We've been to different places, mosques, markets, and the complaint people are giving is that despite having there is a card given to them when they did their registration. Yeah, there is a card. Despite having that card, getting to the polling unit where they are getting the card, the complaint is that they couldn't find their card, and my question is that if they couldn't, if they can't get their card, is there any solution INEC is trying to do?
Thank you very much. And then
mo kí gbogbo àwọn elétò tí àwa ń bí báyìí. Orúkọ mi ni Comrade Adéyẹmí Alápá tí mo jẹ́ zonal coordinator fún àwọn àkàndá. Ìyàwó Olúwatóyìn, ètò ìdìbò yìí ẹ̀ ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rẹ̀ pé ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Lọ́la lọ́túnla wọ́n ń yìnbọn sí àwọn abarapá. Àwa tá a wá jẹ́ àkàndá, àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n ń pè wá lọ́tún lósì pé àwọn ò ní jáde dìbò. Báwo làwọn ṣe fẹ́ ṣe nígbà táwọn abarapá gan ń sá lọ tí wọ́n ń pa wọ́n nítorí ìdí kan sí kejì? Kí ni ó jẹ́ ààbò gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ fún àwọn àkàndá? Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì òun ni àwọn àkàndá ó fi ibi iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lẹ̀ níjọ́ tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ó lọ síbi tí wọ́n ti ní kó lọ gba PVC ẹ̀ kò rí gbà. Ó tún lọ níjọ́ kejì fún àkàndá dẹ̀ ní àti dúró ó ní lára. Àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ bí wọ́n bá tiẹ̀ recognize àwọn àkàndá, kí ló mú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ yín má lè recognize wa? Ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa wí fún wọn. A nídìí ààbò tó dáńtọ́. Àwọn abarapá wọ́n ń sá. Àwa tá a wá jákàndá ẹ̀dẹ̀ ní ká wá dìbò. Kí ni ó jẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn èèyàn mi ṣe sọ? Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́.
And then our sister there.
Orúkọ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ni Sanusi Rọ̀fíà Tìdòwú tí mo jẹ́ vice chairman fún AAN Osun State. Ìbéèrè mi sí àwọn officers ni pé ṣé gbogbo àwa officers ni a dá àwa person with disabilities mọ̀? Because nítorí mo fi béèrè bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a wà ní orí queue. Ìkan lára àwọn officers dẹ̀ ń bi mí pé are you part of JONAPID? That means there is no proper orientation on that. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí proper orientation wà kí gbogbo wọn kan dá gbogbo ẹ̀ka tó jẹ́ person with disabilities mọ̀ so that tó bá tó time láti assist wọn ni máa wò pé bóyá ẹni tẹ́sẹ̀ ń dùn nìkan ni àkàndá, bóyá ojú nìkan ni àkàndá, kí gbogbo kan mọ̀ nípa gbogbo clusters tí àkàndá wà. Ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ fún àwọn ìbéèrè yín. Thank you very much for your questions. But we always encourage people to call the commissioner fully, resident electoral commissioner. Wọ́n máa sọ pé rec yẹn ó tún lè dàbí nǹkan míì. Kọ́ máa lọ dàbẹ́ ni pé wọ́n fẹ́ wá rec election wà ní. Wọ́n fẹ́ wá túnṣe ni o. She's resident commissioner, not rec. Thank you very much. So, back to you, DSP. One man said something instructive. Said, when it comes to gatherings around this election, where security will be discussed, they don't see the commissioner of police. Why always him? Okay. Is there another Balotelli?
Thank you very much. I would like to take the question from the top.
Okay.
So when I get there, I will attend to it.
You have just about 3 to 4 minutes.
I think okay. Let me start from the man that said some civil society organization demanded for the removal of the commissioner of police. Yes, we are aware, and I also want to tell you some parts or some members or some factions of civil society organization also demanded for him for his retention. So I don't know which faction you belong to, sir. And the Commissioner of Police have answered adequately. He said it is their right. He is not the first Commissioner of Police in Osun State. They are demanding for his removal. The former Commissioner of Police, before he took over, they also demanded for his removal for reasons best known to them. So it is, everybody have their own right to protest of any kind. And as to whether investigation is on, definitely it is the duty of the Police Service Commission, and I'm sure they are doing what they ought to do. I'm not the spokesperson for the Police Service Commission. And I want to correct this impression. This is part of misleading information and false news. The Inspector General of Police, though I'm not the first PRO, the Inspector General of Police never gave a shoot-aside order. That correction, that is misinformation. There is a press release that was done yesterday, and the full video of what he said, it was quoted out of context. What he said in which state is, I think, Nasarawa or Beimg. The full video is on our platform. You can go there and listen to it yourself. There is nowhere he gave a shoot-aside order. Every police officer must operate under the law. There is law for us to use our firearms. We don't just see somebody and fire just like that. We have our force order, which guide our use of firearms. Then, position of security personnel in the polling unit. We all know that we are not INEC officials. We have our own place. And this, please let me quickly address what, there's a video going viral where a police lady was videoed. I think that incident happened at Akpomu. Why? A lady was standing on the queue to collect her PVC, and we don't know what happened. She fell. And somebody wanted to help her collect it so she can, after she regained her strength, so she can just collect and go. As the policewoman there tried to help, people accused her of trying to, I don't know the first letter they came up with, that she's trying to collect PVC card for somebody. And everybody saw when this woman fell down. So definitely we are still going to be training our officers. Probably we are just there to help. It is not the duty of the police primarily, but we are there to help. It is the duty of the INEC officials to do that. But sometimes we can come in to help. Then they talk about the Commissioner of Police not being in attendance or refusing courtesy visits. We all know that on assumption of office of the Commissioner of Police, he went round the area commands, he went round our palaces, the palaces of our royal fathers. And he did one thing that I like. Anywhere he goes to, he gave out his personal number. He is the Commissioner of Police that does not have two numbers. He only has one phone number, which anywhere he goes to, he will give out his personal number. I can say, you can reach out to me anytime. That is to tell you that he operates an open door policy. For you to write for a courtesy visit, and we have not called you. I'm coming. It's two. I'm coming. They talk of courtesy visit and programs. Am I right? The questions. So for we not to have called you, I'm the one to call for any courtesy visit. It simply means that there have not been time. Nevertheless, we used to call. If you can accept with us to come and meet the Deputy Commissioner of Police or Assistant Commissioner of Police by the directive of the Commissioner of Police, you can come. Several people have come and they met with the Deputy Commissioner of Police. Someone here can bear me witness. When we tell them the Commissioner of Police is not available, but he can meet with his deputy, and they'll be meeting with them.
So on programs, quickly.
Yes, on programs. The last program that was held at Aurora, it was there. The other one that was held at, I can't remember the name of the place, it was there. For him not to be in attendance, that means he's not in town. As I'm talking to you, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, a council security meeting was held. He was not around. And those of us on social media, you see that the Inspector General of Police decorated some CPs, promoted AIGs, where he called them to come. And after that, they held a high-level security meeting. That was on Friday. Those of us that can bear me witness. For even the part of the organizers of this program called him personally because his number is available. And he said he won't be around. The PRO will represent him. Not that he's dodging any program. He will attend if he's available.
Okay.
Then,
you want to take one more? Because we have to.
Okay, for PWDs, my message to them probably will work together with the resident electoral commissioner. Maybe if they can gather the question that regards their movement on that election day, their movement, if they can together have a body or hire a boss, then together with the Commissioner of Police and the resident electoral commissioner, if they can have a tag on that vehicle that will convey them. I don't know if that will be possible, but that will be figured out between the resident electoral commissioner and the police. So actually there is total ban of movement on that day, except with vehicles with on essential duty. So as regards their movement,
thank you.
I don't know how it's going to be. That will be part of my take home to the Commissioner of Police, and then probably we'll work together with the resident electoral commissioner to see how we can figure that out.
Thank you.
Sir.
And finally, for now, because we still have to take.
Okay, I think that is all I have here, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. And there is a question there, but when we come back for the final session of this part, you can answer that. How can everyone contribute to ensuring that the election is peaceful and free from violence? I really appreciate your contributions and answering the questions. We'll go on a very short break, and when we are back, we still have a segment to listen to representatives of the faiths, the religions. They will speak to us very, very briefly. We want them to speak before we ask the representative of the Commissioner of Police and the resident electoral commissioner to respond, because what they may say may also require their answers. Once again, remember we have the QR code. Please scan it and fill it for us. If you already have hard copies with you, please do that. This is still the Osun State Citizens Townhall, organized by the Civil Society Network on Electoral Integrity. Don't go away. We'll soon finish with this town hall, but let's have this break. Thank you very much.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) will on Saturday, 15th August 2026 conduct governorship election in Osun State. On election day, eligible voters with disabilities will receive priority access to vote as all polling units.
Still the live coverage of Wave 91.7 FM and WSTV. I'm sure for the past 2 hours you've been listening to different voices. Let me take you up to speed. Some of the voices you've been listening to is that of the PRO of the police, who is representing the Commissioner of Police here. Also to the voice of the rec, that's resident electoral commissioner for INEC, who has been seated here for more than 2 hours 30 minutes getting questions from the society, from the residents in that one. We've also heard from the chairman of people with disabilities. We are all. And now, so people from different walks of life are here asking key questions, and they've been asking, if you ask me, and response, coming in from the police, have been directed to the resident electoral commissioner in Osun State as to the readiness and preparedness of INEC ahead of the 15th of August election 2026. Questions also directed to the Commissioner of Police, who is represented here, talking about security. You won't forget or recall that in the past few weeks, 2 or 3 to be precise here, we've been gunshots here and there. There's been allegations that thugs are taking over places. And these are some of the questions, that the commissioner who is represented here has been answering. So there's still more to come, at least for the next 30 minutes. Many questions will be thrown at these guys. And who are these guys? We're talking about the INEC chairman, that's the VEC chairman in Osun State. I'm talking about the Commissioner of Police. I'm talking about different stakeholders. These questions are being asked by residents of Osun State, and all because of the election which will be taking place on the 15th of August. Once again, the convener or the sponsor of this is the Civil Society Network on Election Integrity, and has been tagged Osun Decide Citizens Townhall Meeting. My name is Joseph Atewe. We have to go back to the program. Don't forget, the next 30 minutes will be done and dusted. But stay glued to your wonderful Dive 91.7 FM, because more questions, more jamming questions will be asked, I believe. We'll be back.
Man, one vote. All voters must come with their PVC to the voting center. Remember, no disability should limit your ability to shape the future of Osun with your vote. Vote wisely.
This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission with support from the European Union. INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy.
Àtàárọ̀ ẹ kú kalẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ní báyìí àwọn bàbá wa nínú ẹ̀sìn wọ́n ṣe tán láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. A fẹ́ wo ojú wo náà fi wo ètò ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí, kí nípa tí wọ́n ń kó láti rí pé àlàáfíà jọba, tí ètò ìdìbò náà tí ó sì jẹ́ èyí tí ó mọyán lórí. Àwọn bàbá wa ti wà ń bí, bàbá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ CAN chairman, alága àgbáríjọ ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, bàbá wa Reverend John Adeleke, wọ́n wà ń bí. Bàbá mo kí yín káàbọ̀. Bákan náà ni bàbá tí wọ́n wá ṣojú bàbá wa Chief Imam gbogbo Ọ̀ṣun, bàbá wa Sheikh Musa Animashaun. Ẹni tó ń ṣojú wọn lónìí ni Imam Abdulsalam Akínwùmí tí wọ́n jẹ́ special assistant sí bàbá. Bàbá bóníká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ̀yin àti bàbá ẹjá ṣe ń to olóṣèlú. Ta ni ó kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nú yín, sẹ́yìn ni àbí bàbá ìmáàmù? Kí bàbá ìmáàmù kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí àgbàlagbà kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
Bàbá wọn lẹ́yìn ni ìṣẹ́jú kan péré náà ní kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
Thank you for the honor. Thank you. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé a kú ìjókòó. Mo kí commissioner wa, moderator wa àti gbogbo àwọn tó wà lórí ìjókòó. Mo fẹ́ sọ fún wa wípé ogun kọ́ la fẹ́ jà. And mo sì dúpẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa la ti gbọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ti bá wa sọ. Ṣé la fẹ́ dìbò, ẹnìkan náà ló sì máa padà wọlé. Nítorí ìdí eléyìí, ẹ̀bẹ̀ mi fún gbogbo wa pátápátá ni wípé ẹ jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà kó jọba nínú ọkàn wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa bí a ṣe gbọ́ ká jáde lọ láti lọ dìbò, àti àwa tá a wà ń bí àti àwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan kó jáde lọ láti lọ dìbò, torí ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ ni. Tó bá kọ̀ láti dìbò lónìí lákòókò tó bá yẹ kó dìbò, ní tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́rin yẹn, má sọ nǹkan kan, má dẹ́ni kankan lẹ́bi, torí pé fún ara rẹ ló kọ̀ láti yàn fún ara rẹ. Lọ yan ẹni tí Ọlọ́run bá fi sí ọkàn rẹ láti dìbò. Ṣọ́ra, kì í ṣe àkókò pa ń lọ sórí òkè nìyí o. Lọ sórí òkè rẹ látọ̀ àkókò yìí. Tó bá ti dọ́jọ́ yẹn, àdúrà kọ́ là ń kà, ìbò là ń kà. Lọ dìbò rẹ, Ọlọ́run yóò sì ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Kì í dẹ̀ ṣàkókò pa àwọn tẹlifíṣàn, pàápàá ẹ̀yin òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba, the airlights, ẹ jáde lọ láti lọ dìbò. Ẹ má jókòó sí di tẹlifíṣàn. God bless you.
Pẹ̀lú ìyọ̀ǹda the Grand Imam of Osun State, Bàbá wa Fadila Sheikh Musa Muhammad Rabi Animashaun, kí Olúwa kó ṣàlékún àlàáfíà fún bàbá.
Àmín.
A fẹ́ tí ẹnu bàbá sọ fún wa wípé ètò ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ojúṣe ìlú nìkan, bí kò ṣe ojúṣe fún Ọlọ́run. Jáde lọ rèé dìbò, má dẹ̀ dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ níbi tó bá ti lọ rèé dìbò. Tó bá ti dìbò tán, padà sílé lọ rèé jókòó rẹ̀. Nígbà tí àwọn INEC bá kéde èsì ìdìbò, gbogbo ẹni tó bá já sí lọ́wọ́ gbà á pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́ àti ìdùnnú. Gbogbo ń tà sọ yìí kì í ṣòfin orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà nìkan, òfin Olúwa ni o. Bí a bá lọ wọnú ẹsẹ̀ Àlùkùránì, Kùránì orí 59 ẹsẹ̀ kẹrin ó ní ẹ gbà fún Olúwa lẹ́yìn náà ẹ gbà fún àwọn aláṣẹ yín òfin tí àwọn aláṣẹ bá tẹ̀lé ẹ tẹ̀lé nítorí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ̀lé aláṣẹ lẹ fi tẹ̀lé èmi Ọlọ́run káwá jáde lọ rèé dìbò ẹ rí i pé kì í ṣe òfin orílẹ̀-èdè nìkan òfin Ọlọ́run ni ẹni bá wà lágbára tó bá wà takò Ọlọ́run tó bá ní náà tó bá wù mí ni màá ṣe nínú ìdìbò yìí màá da ìdìbò rú mi ò ní gbọ́rọ̀ sófin ìyẹn máa ṣe tó wù mí ó túmọ̀ sí pé níjọ́ ìgbà ìyà ayé bá jẹ ọ́ tán ìyà ọ̀run ó tún jẹ ọ́ níwájú Ọlọ́run ohun tí bàbá wa ìmáàmù àgbà ní ká sọ fún gbogbo mùsùlùmí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni wípé ojúṣe wa ni ká jáde go out and vote lọ́ọ̀rẹ́ dìbò tó o bá dẹ̀ débi tó ti dìbò pẹ̀lú pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ kò sí òfin ẹ̀sìn Islam kan tó dìnnà ẹnìkan wípé kó má dìbò ọkùnrin ó jáde lọ rèé dìbò obìnrin lọ rèé dìbò àwọn ẹlẹ́hà lọ rèé dìbò gbogbo ètò yẹn ni wọ́n ti ṣe kalẹ̀ táwọn tó mójútó ìdìbò bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àwọn agbófinró láti ṣe dáadáa ntí bàbá ìmáàmù ni a sọ fún gbogbo mùsùlùmí ni wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde tó bá di ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kẹjọ yìí ká jáde ká lọ rèé dìbò tó o bá ti ní káàdì ìdìbò lọ́wọ́ ni o mọ́kúra rẹ sẹ́nu yà mọ́jọ sọ pé dandan ni láì ní káàdì ọjà rẹ lọ rèé dìbò o lè bá yà pàdé ń bẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n tó o ní káàdì ìdìbò lọ́wọ́ jáde dìbò pẹ̀lú pẹ̀lẹ́ má dá wàhálà alẹ̀ dìbò fẹ́ni tọ́kàn rẹ bá yàn má sì ta ìbò rẹ má gba owó lọ́wọ́ àwọn olùdìbò má ta ọjọ́ ọ̀la rẹ rántí wípé bọ́ ọ bá ta káàdì lórí ìdìbò bí ọba escape ẹ̀ láyé njọ́ ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run bá tẹ ọ̀jẹ̀ baba ńlá yà.
Thank you very much. We say thank you to the two religious leaders or leaders of faith who have just spoken to us. Now we're going to conclude with this panel, and that will be in just 2 minutes. So, Commissioner of Police, Representative DSP Ojelabi, what are your parting words for this audience in 1 minute? Then I come to the resident electoral commissioner. I have to apologize to the civil society representative and our civil defense corps man that I may not be able to take you. Over to you in 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much. In 1 minute, I just have to say this on behalf of the Commissioner of Police. I'm back in Son Yobani. Ẹja ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹja bá àwọn ọmọ wa, àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn ìyàwó wa, àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, àwọn àbúrò wa. Ẹja bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ gidi gan. Kán má jẹ́ kí àwọn olóṣèlú lò wá. Tí wọ́n bá lò wá nísìnyí, after August 15 yẹn, wọ́n máa dump wa ni o. Ara àwọn tá a mú ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá ó yà mí lẹ́nu pé ó jẹ́ ara àwọn tá a lọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́jọ́ tá à ń ṣe National Police Day ní park ara wọn la lọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ a sọ fún wọn pé má jẹ́ kí àwọn òṣèlú lò yín ara wọn ni wọ́n mú lọ ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá tá a gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń tu owó jọ pé àwọn fẹ́ lọ ra ọta àbọn a sì ń wá ibi tí ìbọn yẹn wà so ẹja bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ o Ọlọ́run á kọ́ wa mọ̀ ṣe é ṣeun.
Okay. Thank you very much. Resident Electoral Commissioner, I just want you to look at the audience and tell us that. Okay, sorry.
Thank you very much.
1 minute.
Can I say something before I respond? Somebody asked the question, what is the fate of those that lost their card, that they carted away their cards? We are going to send the reports. I've asked the EO to do the analysis so we know the exact cards that were taken away. And we are going to send the report. My message to the people of Osun State is, for all eligible voters, make sure you exercise your rights. It is your right under the law to vote. The people of Osun State should come out en masse and exercise their franchise. Every vote in Osun State will count. INEC pledges to conduct a free, fair, credible, inclusive, and transparent election in Osun State. come 15th August 2026. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You've given a promise, and the citizens will be looking forward to the fulfillment of that promise. It's been a long journey since we started this town hall, and it's time now for us to have some concluding reflections. And the person who will do that for us is drawn from the same civil society network on electoral integrity, a network that comprised the Nigerian Women Trust Fund, Elect Her, TAF Africa, Kuka Center, International Press Center, Center for Media and Society, and Yaga Africa. And that person is Malia Manu. Yes. So.
Oh, don't gawk yourself. Sell your vote, just sell your future, but sell your birthright. How much self? Divide them by 4 years. How much with that? No sell your vote, oh. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter the thing they do you. No matter how much money them they give you. No sell your photo. No need to fight, oh. Because your picking no go join you. They go, they won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, don't sell your photo. Yeah, okay. If you look at the situation, everything harsh for this our nation. Poverty rising and inflation. Line still there for the fuel station. Things gotta change, my determination. This election, no intimidation. Protect your selection, we gotta make sure everybody votes count for the future. For the future.
Shine your eye, well. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let them take your vote from you. Now your future be that, oh. Yeah. Now your future be that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Together we can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah. One voice. We can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah.
They've not projected. Everyone, as we close, let us remember that politics is not inherently dirty. It is a vehicle for positive change. Osun has an opportunity to demonstrate political maturity through peace, tolerance, and active participation. INEC has affirmed its readiness with mock accreditations in 4 LGAs, PVC distributions continuing until 7th August, and assistive measures in place to ensure inclusive voting. Security agencies have also assured citizens of their readiness to protect lives and property, with the police committed to operating strictly within the law. The stage is set. The responsibility now rests with all of us to choose peace, uphold democracy, and make Osun governorship election one to remember for the right reasons. Thank you.
Ọṣé, Manu, adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹni tí wọ́n gbìyànjú láti sọ fún wa ni pé ìpàdé àpérò tá a wá ṣe lónìí, ó ti sèsore pé káyé fojú dẹ̀tí wo ètò òṣèlú torí pé a lè ṣe òṣèlú ní ọ̀nà tí ó jẹ́ pé a dìbò wa, ìbò wa yóò sì níye lórí, yóò péye, yóò sì jẹ́ èyí tí yóò mú tí à ń retí tí yóò mú wá fún wa. Iṣẹ́ tá a fẹ́ ká mú lọ lé ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa, INEC ti sọ pé àwọn ṣe tán, gbogbo ohun tó yẹ kán ṣe pátápátá làwọn ti ṣe. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé àyè ṣì wà fáwọn èèyàn wa láti lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò wọn. Ẹ mọ̀ pé láìsí káàdì ìdìbò kò ṣeé ṣe fún yín láti dìbò. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sì sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa tó bá ṣeé ṣe fún wọn kí wọ́n ó jìnnà fún gbogbo ohun tó bá jẹ mọ́ wàhálà lásìkò ìbò àti lẹ́yìn ìbò. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ò ní dàrú, òkè òkè láàmú lọ. Ètò ìdìbò tó wà lọ́nà yìí, ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde gbogbo wa pátápátá ká ṣojúṣe wa. Ẹ kú kalẹ̀.
And that is it. The destination, like we said, is August 15, 2026. And this is just one of the bus stops towards that destination. There will be many other stops. But what has been emphasized in this town hall is that we all have a responsibility to ensure an inclusive, a peaceful, transparent election, because we want this election to be credible as a marker for what will happen in the general election of 2026. We can only appreciate you all for being part of this, in this audience, on radio, on television, and online. We may be back to call on you, but the people have spoken through this town hall that they want a secured environment for the election and that INEC should live up to its responsibilities. I am Lanre Arogundade, and my co-anchor has been Dupe Akinyemi. Good night.
All right, that's a wrap up from the live coverage of Wave 91.7 FM. I hope you've enjoyed or you enjoyed the 3 hours of coverage where key issues were discussed with different stakeholders and those who really matters, like the resident electoral commissioner in the state, the commissioner of police who was represented, and some other top dignitaries here. It's a wrap. My name is Joseph Atewe, and from the entire crew, I will say goodbye from Adulak, Oshubo, where we are currently reporting. We'll go back to our regular programs once again. Good evening.
No matter the thing they do, yo.
Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
The British Empire was the largest